Okay, go live. It says we're live. Let's play the start 'em up. Where is it? Right there.
Ooh, yeah. Look at that.
Ain't that fancy? RBI made that. He's a machine at this, let me tell you. Okay, who's here tonight? We got me. We got Mantic Coins over here. We got Chris's coin channel down there. Jeff Dunn, are you ready? Look, we got some folks over here in the chat. Chris's coin channel down there. Okay, I got to click some buttons here, so bear with me. And we're going to pop some stuff out. That should get stuff up.
Hey, Jeff Dunn, Ben Ownby,
Captain Jigga, Ben Ownby,
Stanley,
Jeff Stanley. Good to see you guys. Scent Hoarder,
Linda.
Okay, this is live Q&A. People send in questions. They send in pictures and they ask questions about the pictures. They ask about their coins, and we try our best to answer them to the utmost of our ability. Every once in a while, we get stumped, but a lot of times we help people figure out what's going on with their coin, and you can learn a lot while we're doing this. Amanda Wilder, first-time caller. All right. There's Aunt Cecilia, Scent Hoarder, Jeff Stanley.
Hi, Amanda.
Yep, the Jeffs are all here. Okay, I'm going to give you an email address. Let's see. Anytime you're stuck, you can just type !QA, and in a couple of seconds, it'll pop up with the email address where you can send in your photos and questions. There you go. checkmycoin@yahoo.com.
Oh, look at that. They're just pouring in. Let me tell you.
Sweet.
There it is.
Welcome, everybody. I see some new names out there so far.
That's awesome
to see.
Okay, we do this just about every week. We took last week off. It was a Thanksgiving holiday. And, well, I think it's a lot of fun just to spend time with the family. I went over to my brother's house, ate some food. Good Lord, I'm still eating turkey. You kidding? So we're back at it. We'll probably take Christmas off. I think that's around, I didn't even check the schedule.
That's a Wednesday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, we're going to work the day after Thanksgiving?
You mean the day after Christmas?
That's what I mean. Yeah. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the calendar. Yeah. Day after Christmas. Well, we'll see who's traveling. It's a short staff tonight. People are getting married. They're working on other projects. They're working a job. But we got the three of us, and it'll be good enough. We'll make do with what we got.
Three musketeers at your service.
There we go. I'm Ken. I take care of the 1 Million Pennies blogspot.com, my little blog, and you'll find what I do is promote a hobby. Geez, if you want your coins to be more valuable in the future, grow the hobby. Over here we got it's over there. There's Mantic Coins. He'll introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Shay Hoffmaster. I got Mantic Coins YouTube channel, and I search for half-dollar varieties, quarter varieties, pennies, nickels, dimes, just about anything I get my hands on. I know a little bit about half dollars. Learned a lot about quarters in the last few months, and I've been learning more about dimes. And lately, I'm on a penny kick. Look out! Learning all about memorials.
Uh-oh. Yeah. When do you get into the shields, buddy?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I have found some wonderful double die shields. And then I got the double die ear the other day. It's fantastic. So the finding the varieties is exciting to me no matter what the coin. I mean, it even the close your ears, Ken. Susan B. Fine to me. But anyway, I love to share the knowledge that I have gained with you guys, and I love to help other people out, figure out how, if they have a valuable coin or not. And so good luck to everybody, and thank you for sending in high-resolution photos and a good question in the front and back of the coin. Appreciate it. I'm back here clickety, clickety, clickety. So there you go. Well,
hey, everybody. I'm Chris Rhodes. Most of you know me from Facebook. I'm very active in the online coin community, I do write blog articles. The name of my blog article area is Adventures in Coin Roll Hunting. I do have a YouTube channel, Chris's Coin Channel. I'm not very active on there because I only have so much time in the day. I'm a coin junkie, just like some of our guests in the comment section. I love everything coins. I do think my specialty is Lincoln cents, mainly varieties and errors, but I do a little bit of everything. And like Shay, I like to help teach people because there were a lot of people out there who taught me. And luckily, I was able to retain some of that knowledge. And I like to pay it forward and pass it on. So that's why I'm here doing this. And I'd like to say thanks to everybody that showed up. We got a lot of people in the chat already tonight, a lot of new names. So thanks for coming. Hopefully you enjoy the show. And thanks a lot. That's me.
Okie-doke. Now, we alternate the location, the host of the channel each week. We make our rounds. Chris is having computer trouble, so he doesn't host. But nonetheless, I just put up a link to his blog, and you can always go check that out. And you've got the channel links for these guys in the description below the video. So don't be afraid to get over there and hit subscribe. So when they post it on their channel or produce a video, you get a little notification. It'd be nice. Denise is here. Watch yourselves. Keep your hands and fingers away from her mouth. My name is Weasel, and I'm a chocoholic and coin nerd. That's okay, Weasel. You're going to fit right in good around here. People send in photos. Now, it's important when you send a photo in to give us the entire obverse and the entire reverse, because we can glean information off of that that you may not think to mention or talk about when you ask about your coin. Also, would help if you have it upright instead of crooked or sideways. And if it's blurry, there may not be anything we can do with that. Now, we understand you're not photographers, you're coin people, not photographer people, but we do the best we can with what we have to work with. And usually we do pretty well, and we get by just fine. Now, we got one already lined up, Shay?
I do. You want to read?
It's from Seamus, Omaha. You want to take it, Chris?
Whatever. You were already off to a good start. I'll get the next one.
I'm very curious about what this type of feature is categorized as. This 1962D Lincoln Memorial cent demonstrates an anomaly in the metal on the reverse, mostly in the left side of the coin, top and bottom. Photos have been taken with reverse lighting. The dramatic lines disappear in certain light. I soaked it in acetone for about 30 minutes to see if it would dissolve any foreign material with no difference. The latter photos are post-acetone. There it is. And below the E.
Well, that sure is strange, isn't it?
That looks like a lamination.
I concur.
Lamination.
Yeah, you can actually see. Oh, yeah, that's a perfect picture to show it. Yeah. Nice. It causes a shadow because the left side of it is raised higher than the right side. So the angle of the light, it's actually causing a shadow on the coin. Also, next to the U, you can notice that there is a void. There's a piece of it missing.
Now, this is a result of an improper alloy mix, right? Back in '62, it's 95% copper, 3% zinc, and 2% tin. Well, sometimes some other bits will sneak into the batch, and sometimes it doesn't all mix right. And you end up with kind of a layer that really doesn't bond well with the rest of the planchet or the copper sheet that they're punching it out of. And it kind of peels up. And this is what it looks like. If you ever had dry fingernails in the middle of winter, we'll give it a couple of weeks and you will. And you get these little dried up cuticle on your finger. This is similar to what you're looking at on these laminations. After 1962, they mostly dried up. disappeared because they took the tin out of the mix, but you still get them. They're not quite as dramatic.
We talked about that a little bit, didn't we? We talked about I think it was in September that they took all the tin out, right? Didn't we have that discussion? I think that's what Breen was talking about.
I just had that out.
So,
book here somewhere. Oh, there it is.
and a lot of times, you know, the way these coins, the what they're made of, the size, how many are produced, they're all, you know, predetermined at some point, and they change for different reasons. There's certain political climate, things going on between dealers and community and collectors, and you never know all the interesting stories that you can read about happening during the time when individual coins were minted. Often provides an interesting perspective to why the things happened the way they did. And then sometimes they're just stumpers.
Yep. Right in here, and this is Breen's, by the way, Breen's Encyclopedia. This is a staple. Beginning in September 1962, owing to the scarcity of tin, cents began to be made in brass instead of the French bronze. Only spectroscopy readily distinguishes them. So you can get the French bronze and the brass in 1962, but after 62, there's no tin. But the only way to tell the difference is spectroscopy, maybe an XFR device. They differ little in color or durability from the former French bronze. Until about 1981, collectors still indifferently called both bronze, but mint reports properly refer to tinless cents as brass. Yeah, try that one out. So now you got to look for those if you want a complete set, right? I wouldn't say there's much of a difference in value, however. But without the tin, you don't get as many laminations. They still occur, though.
So nice lamination. Thank you for sending that in, Seamus. All right, let's go.
Commerce presents an interesting talking point. Isn't acetone considered cleaning?
Yeah.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the difference with acetone, it doesn't alter the surface of the copper or silver coins. I don't recommend ever cleaning a coin, be it with acetone or soap and water. Honestly, for the cost, because acetone is not cheap, and the mess, because you still got, you know, this mess all over the place, paper towels and Q-tips or whatever. And then a lot of people will take like a brush or even a Q-tip and rub the coin, thinking that's going to get off whatever's on the coin. Well, rubbing essentially takes whatever the crud is that you're trying to get off and just rubs it around. You're abrading the coin more than anything else. There is a way to conserve coins, but honestly, that's made for, you know, leave that up to the people that have the training. And it takes several years, you know, it takes almost a college degree to understand the preservation of metals, of antiques. Generally, folks that aren't trained in that, you do better off just not to clean your coin. Chances are you're going to ruin them. You'll never restore them to bright and new and shiny. Oh, Denise says, thanks to the comment on my checkerboard and checkers. She made a chess set. Okay, a checker set. Like out of a broomstick or something. It was beautiful. You should see it.
Denise is she's very artistic.
She's skilled.
The paintings and all the other projects she does, that checkerboard was off the charts.
Yeah.
Good job.
She took some different colored wood and alternated it, then sliced it like 8 times, and then flipped them over so the black and white changed, and then glossied them up and really dressed it up. And there's like jewelry and stuff on there. It's slick as could be. And I think it was a broomstick she sliced up to make the checker pieces. I really didn't get involved in how that was made. Oh, and smash the like button, please.
All right, so we got one from Sovereign Archer. Says 1916D Indian Head Clash. Let's take a look at this.
What?
Now, drawing on coins doesn't mean that it's going to be a variety. No, or an error. I'm just kidding. I don't know. It looks like there's some. Oh, is that clashing? Indirect design transfer? Is it just damage? I don't know.
I think it's just straight up deterioration, to be honest with you.
Deterioration.
I see a lot of radial metal flow, especially around the date.
Like an orange peel.
Yeah, it's very textured looking. That's just a worn die.
The coin's in good shape. Now, if the drawing outlines the Indian head, it's totally out of proportion. The Indian head is considerably larger than this.
Yeah, and also let's consider the fact that you would have two obverse.
Yeah, flashing an obverse to another obverse would be pretty strange.
Yeah.
So I'm going to discount this being any sort of a mule clash. But love the artwork, though.
All right, let me pull the next one.
Okay, I've got one ready if you want to go to there.
Sure, go for it.
Okay, I got to click like 14 things, so bear with me. Let's see. This comes first. Then I come over here. I got to click. I don't know what I got to click. Screen. There. Wait for it. Okay. Hi, guys and gals. I got only one question on this cent. How much? And give it to me. No, wait a minute. Is this a strike through, or did Ken run over it with his truck? In all seriousness, I'm not sure if this is damage or a strike through some foreign object. The massive damage is obvious, but there's also a smaller gouge southwest of the 5 and the date, and minor RPM, or is it MD? And it's from Taco John. Well, Taco John, I could only open one photo of yours, but it's a hell of a photo.
Whoa. Woohoo. Nice lamination error there, buddy.
Okay. Now, we just had that lamination on that other coin at 1962, and you had the same issue where the alloy isn't properly bonding. Now, in the 1975, it does not have tin. Well, it's still an alloy, and you can still get these bonding problems. Now, they start with just a big brick of copper, and then roll it into a sheet. So you always have these linear aspects to it. Okay, so this is consistent with a lamination, but sometimes, see over here, the lamination, it peels, and you get a whole section that'll separate. This is a keeper. This is a significant keeper. This is probably worth a couple of bucks anyway. A lot of times the laminations, they're not worth a whole lot, maybe a buck. Some people like to put together entire collections of laminations or lamination peels. This one leaps out. This is massive. And over here beside the 5, this is, well, that's the same darn thing. It's just an extension of what's already here. Yeah, that's a handsome piece. Now, I'm not able to do anything with the mint mark, unfortunately. I just zoom in and I can't tell. I can't see any difference here, but I've got no other photos to work with because this is the only one that was able to survive the transfer. But it's a heck of a piece.
Yeah, that's a nice lamination. Those are the type that I keep.
Yeah.
What's up, Roger?
Yeah, some of these lambs are really minor, but when you get into this level, you got a significant error. It probably won't drag big money, but it's probably good for a few bucks.
Yep, nice one. Thanks for sharing.
Be nice to find the chunk that fell off on another coin.
Yeah, that's a neat thing. That's how you get a lot of strike throughs. Sometimes the metal in the planchets is kind of just falling off or flaking off, and it ends up on another planchet and is struck through. So you get these weird shapes.
I'll read this one since I haven't read one yet.
All right.
There you go.
From Jeff Stanley. I started my Woody set 2 months ago, and now I'm about 25 coins in. Here's my latest wood grain cent acquisition. The toning on this coin is just spectacular in person. The die chips in the S and 9 just add something extra special to the coin. Changing the paragraph and where the words are while I'm reading it makes it very difficult. Sorry about the images. My primary microscope is down for the count.
All right. I thought I'd mess with you just a little bit.
I know, that's good. I like it. I love it.
Oh, nice, Woody.
That's a fairly
that's a nice one. And you know what? This stuff is so hard to photograph sometimes too.
And he's got a die chip.
die chip in the 9, die chip in the mint mark.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's recordable.
That's Birdie.
I like the wood grain that's going across his face, his cheek there. I like that. That's pretty cool.
Now the woodies and the laminations and that lamination peel, these are all the same source errors. The same problem creates these. And the alloy did not mix the way it should. What happens here is you've got some areas that are higher in concentration in whatever. Maybe it's zinc, maybe it's tin, maybe it's something else altogether that got into the mix. And you have to put these streaks, light and dark areas. Yep. And where it doesn't bond well, it starts to peel and you get the lamination cracks. And when it separates all together, you get that massive piece we just saw in the 75D. Now here you've got die chips, which is a second issue. Now you get die variety and error on the same coin.
Nice one. Thanks for sharing once again. We still got some new people showing up, so hello to everyone that came in recently.
Yeah, hello everybody.
Haven't had a chance to say hi lately, but hi.
Ida Herring showed up. How are you, dear? I see Mike Kittle's here.
Shay, one day, just one day, I will get you back.
I'll get open one up next.
You got to be able to. Never mind.
Yeah, I know. I know where you're going with that.
Okay.
I'm gonna open up Jason's.
Let's see. All right, I've got D Reese 1952 D RPM. Well, I think I finally really found one. Just looking to verify and try to get help attributing.
Well, it definitely looks like an RPM.
Yeah, you got separation there. Maybe here. Let me see what the other pictures do. Oh,
you know, there are quite a few for that year. I'm pulling up copper coins right now.
Now, what you want to do is on these. Oftentimes, if you start by attempting to look at the location within the date to kind of help, that might narrow your choices down quite a bit.
Left, right, north, south.
Yeah, what he's talking about is looking at where the primary mint mark is in relation to the secondary mint mark, and so the direction between them where they moved, the secondary is the weaker mint mark, and so as the person that was placing the mint mark on the die was placing it, they pivoted a little bit, or you have some that completely missed the mark altogether. but you can oftentimes start with a direction. If you can figure out what the direction is it tilted? And is it, which way did it move? And then you can narrow down the list even more. And when you're talking about like the 1960 Ds or the 1959 Ds, you've got hundreds. I mean, there's 176 1959D RPMs. And you've got them listed on all the various sites, and they're not all the same. So there's some crossover. You've got Crawford, who does a pretty good job also. But anyway, it can be a tough thing. You can spend hours.
Let me give you a hint on how you can start to narrow this down. I'm going to take the screen for just a minute. On 1952, you ready for this one? On Denver, here's the screen. You've got two different styles of mint mark that were used that year. Right? You've got mint mark style number 4, which is this one up here. And if you look, it has a smaller central space. And then you have mint mark style number 5, which has a much wider central space, a little thinner at the top, much thicker at the bottom, and the punch had a little chip out of it at the bottom. Kind of neat. Now we can look at these two and compare to what you have and tell already it's mint mark number 5, mint mark style number 5. And that can help you narrow down your search. Don't look for the one with a little inside, look for the one with a big inside. That's one of those funny years I have. Oh, and you have this one up here. But you got mint mark style 5. Yeah, 3 were used that year. How about that for cookies? Lots of ways to narrow down the search.
So there are quite a few listed on Copper Coins. There are, let's see, 37 repunch mint marks and 1 over mint mark. It matches quite a few of them in similar style. The big thing is going to be mint mark location. I am leaning towards 1mm035, but there's a couple that are very similar looking. Let's see, 035. Actually, no, 035 I believe is a little too close to the date. So the location doesn't match. The other one was 22 I was looking at, I think was really close. But these are tough because there's so many of them that are similar for 52D.
Josh Moore has a good question. Why do I have such a hard time using Copper Coins guides? I have meticulously gone back and forth between Wexler and Dr. Wiles on the Koneka site and Crawford and Wexler. So all these different sites. And I actually starting to enjoy the differences in the way they write their markers, the die markers. And
yeah.
So I would suggest that you if you really want to get into it, you read through those markers and see what they're saying and see if you can identify what they're saying in the pictures. And that way you can get an understanding for the language that they use. There's some very specific words that they use. And I was telling Ken last week that people may not know what a cornice is, the upper right cornice, or what is the attic, or what is the some people call it a planter, but it's a post, and actually all the parts of the Lincoln Memorial. It's kind of interesting. It's modeled after Greek architecture and the Parthenon. So if you know bits of art history and what makes up a column, then you might be able to read some of this just right off the bat. But if you've never read any of that or understood what all the different parts of a column are, you may not. But anyway, read it carefully, look at the pictures, go find one that's in all 3 or 4 places and go read the descriptions that they provide, the die markers. It'd be an interesting learning experience for all of you. Yeah. Thanks, Hidden. How you doing? So anyway, I don't think that we can actually I mean, do you want to try narrowing down to from the 37, or do you want to move on?
I mean, personally, I don't think. I think the question was, is this an RPM? And my answer is yes.
I'm looking at the top of that. I'm seeing an RPM.
Yeah.
And a chip on the bottom. That's a split. That's a tilted die or tilted punch.
And the other thing is, you can help yourself. Once you narrow it down to 5 or 6, look at the markers and see if you can pick up on any of the markers as well. Now that'll help. So. All right, let's see here. We have
another artist in the midst of our guests here too. He probably doesn't think I remember, but Mr. Ben Ownby, I believe he hand paints fishing lures, which is another hobby of mine. And Jessica, if she's watching, check out Ben's stuff.
She's a fisher. Yeah, I'd like to take a moment before we scroll down too far here. Let's see, where was it? I saw it here. Someone was asking for a place for check RPMs for nickels. I scrolled by.
Yeah, I saw that.
There it is, right there. Josh Moore says, "Is there a place for nickels?" I'm going to give you real quick. Let me take the screen here. Hit solo, and I go and show the screen. You can find my blog right here. It's 1 Million Pennies Project. Right there. And if you scroll down on the right side, you'll see key information websites. Click on that. It'll bring up this page. And you go to general information. And here you'll find specialized. Brian's Variety Coins. Fantastic resource for nickel varieties. And just click on that. He does a lot of work for Wexler. They work together on a lot of nickels. Matter of fact, Wexler doesn't even list his nickel varieties. He just sends you to Brian's. So I'll give you that link in just a minute. Just type !blog, and that'll take you right to it.
Yep, Variety Vista also has some. So I like to use multiple sources. A lot of times you're going to find that they're not all inclusive. So one website will have some, another website will have some of the same, but some different. So Ken, elaborate on that anymore?
Pardon? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
I was just talking about how.
Max Headroom.
He's gone. Not all attributors will have all the same listings, right? They list what they find or what people send to them that they find. So you get, Variety Vista won't have every listing that Wexler has. Wexler won't have every listing that Copper Coins has. He won't have every listing that Brian's Nickels has, because Copper Coins only does copper anyway. Some will have different items. Sometimes they'll be listed but not cross-referenced, and it's really tough because this one includes die markers from the front. This one has die markers from the back. Okay, this one's a later stage, and it's tough. Verifying that one is the same as the other can be tricky at times. So keep an eye out. Keep a list of all these sites that you can check, be it Variety Vista or Wexler or Copper Coins or the Cherry Picker's Guide or Breen's or any one of 100 other books you can get out there. We're working on a single comprehensive site. Give us time. There's a lot of work behind the scenes, man.
Woo, yeah.
Coin Cave is here. Sorry so late. It's okay, man. We got all night. Okay, we got one from D. Reese.
Yeah.
1959D, found these two in a row. Looks like an RPM to me, but need some confirmation, please. Lower left on the serif. That's a tilt. Looks like you get a split on the upper right as well, or upper left.
I see the one in the lower left.
I'm going to be real honest here, guys. When I first started variety hunting, I would save every little minor RPM I was finding. And I'm at the point now where I pass these by. My heart's still in it, but they're just too minor and there's too much effort to be put into attributing them, and it's just not there for me for these minor ones.
I tend to agree that as you advance in your ability to identify what this is to which one it is, and you get practice, the more you practice, the more picky you may get on what you keep or what you sell or what you decide to do with it. Now, I mean, as an example, my mom has recently gotten into the hobby, and she's looked through dozens of boxes and was saying that she hadn't found anything. So I actually went to a auction of Chuck Daughtry's of copper coins, and I purchased a whole roll of RPMs, minor RPMs. I mean, 50. And I sent that to her for her birthday, and she tore through them and just loved it. Just had a blast looking at each RPM. And within a week, she's already finding. She's found like 15 double dies now, because she's starting to look and understand, and look at the metal and look at what's happening with these. And actually being able to see things that are different between coins. And so it's really helped her grow in her ability to identify some of these things.
When you're at the level where you can identify an RPM based on that tiny little split in the lower left, you'll be able to pick out anything. You have reached the level of detail where you can pick out anything.
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, make these a test for yourself and hunt these down, because when you can find these, you're there. You have arrived.
And I mean, maybe there's somebody out there that maybe the thing that you want to do as a collector is collect all 176 1959Ds, RPMs. I mean, wouldn't that be a challenge set?
Jody Gomez has something like 244 out of however many 1960D RPMs.
Yeah, there's like 289, I think.
I mean, it's an impressive set.
Yeah. Wow. Here, let me show you my RPMs. No.
It's only taking a few days.
You know what? I used to go crazy buying 60D rolls at dealers, and now it's like I don't even want them anymore.
Well, I'll take anyone that you want to get rid of for sure. I like RPMs. I like, but I'm photographing them, so it's even more fun to know and understand the different markers and the die stages and what the coin's been through. How many hands crossed this coin and didn't realize that there was an RPM on there, or a double die, and the combinations, man, those are cool too. I found I opened 63D roll the other night on Coin Dragon's stream and found over a dozen RPM and DDO doubled eyelid.
There are RPMs, these minor tilted, these twisted or just slightly shifted RPMs that they're out there that are not yet recorded. So you can make a contribution to the hobby if you find some, and of course you have to attribute the darn thing. And if you cannot find a listing, here's your chance to put your name in the books.
Can we bring that close up full screen again and just point to the area where the separation is, so people can see? Yeah, I mean, so Denise was asking if this were on a 79D, wouldn't it be a worn die? No, 79D, those are plagued with the broken die punches, and it's a little bit different. And sometimes it can be confusing, especially with these minor ones. But that little line that Shay was highlighting, that's called the separation line. And that's just the point that we can see where the two different mint marks are kind of coming together. Now, this one is so minor because the second time they punched it in, they were almost lined up perfectly, but it must have tilted in their hand or something. before they gave it that final whack. And that's why you have that line.
Now, Coy brought up a question I wanted to address. Where are you here? Here it is. How did they pick what goes in cherry pickers? Okay, that comes down to, where's the cherry pickers I had over here?
That's a
Coy's
good.
referring to the cherry pickers guide. Let's see if I can bring that up. Right there. Nope, right there. Cherry pickers guide. It's by Fiva and Stanton, Bill Fiva and JT Stanton. Now, JT passed away earlier this year. Bill Fiva is coming out with the next edition, I believe, in June. So wait for that. That's sure to be a best seller. It'll fly off the shelves. Get it while you can. Now, what they include in here, according to Bill, is the top, right? The tip of the iceberg, the cream of the crop. The die varieties which would be most valuable, most significant. They have numismatic importance. They're more extreme. This is the good stuff. Now, there's plenty more that's not listed in here, right? We're at a point we can start to take a population count on our database and compare it to other databases. We've got what, 3,500 different wheats in there, different wheat scent varieties, and 89 are cherry pickers guide. That's how thin this is. It's a great reference. Dude, this is the cream of the crop, but it's by no means complete. I would like to get my hands on his full database.
Yeah,
that would be a heck of a thing.
It's a mere sampling of the top varieties, and it's not. I wouldn't say that it was a complete. They had to leave out some wonderful varieties just for space and cost. So, yeah.
To print an entire comprehensive database would fill, what do you figure, 30, 40 volumes?
Yeah, just in my so I've been working on memorials and trying to list them, and 59 through 1971, I've got over 1,500 varieties, if that tells you anything. And how many were in the cherry pickers?
80, 90, thereabouts.
There you go.
Memorial scents. Here we go.
So
There's
1,500 guys, and that's I mean, 10, 11 years. It's a decade. Now, I don't think that the 70s are going to produce as many. It's kind of a sleepy decade, except for the early years when they were changing the design so much. But yeah, there's a lot out there. If you didn't know, there's way more. So if you just buy a cherry picker's guide and you just have a list of cherry picker's guide coins and you just look for those, man, are you missing out, right? Like there are years where the cherry pickers just shows one double die obverse. They don't even show you that there's 62 DDRs, double die reverses, that you can look for. So I know at the stage I'm at, I look back at all the hunting that I've done so far, and I kind of cry a little bit to myself, knowing that I'm sure I tossed a lot of pennies back into the bin that could have been more than what I thought they were. But
we all did that, O'Shea.
Yeah,
me, man.
That is the bane of all of our lives right now. Sure.
Yeah, another thing to note about the cherry pickers guide is it's for die varieties. So you're going to find doubled dies, you're going to find RPMs, and a few of the weird anomalies such as transitional year die varieties like the wide AMs, close AMs, and the occasional rarity such as a counterclash like the 1983 counterclash. But that's about it. So when it comes to other things such as errors, Denise mentioned the dropped letter error. You're not going to find that kind of stuff in the cherry pickers guide because it literally could be a one-of-a-kind item. So Denise, that error coin that you have with that dropped letter, I mean,
Yeah,
chances are there's a couple others out there, but that one that you have, that could actually be the only one in existence. So there's no way to really catalog that kind of stuff that I can think of. So you're not really going to find that stuff in there.
Can you show the URS scale? So one thing I want to point out about the Cherry Picker's Guide and the URS scale. It really, if you take a look, cherry pickers will have the URS scale, and Ken knows a lot more about the background of how that scale came to be. But if you see something like URS 3, I mean, there are only 3 coins in existence for that variety.
Okay, let me take the screen for a bit here. Ta-da, there it is. Okay, you've got 2 scales that have been put out, and you'll find this in my blog. I'll give you the link in just a bit. How rare is it? I'll give you the link. You got Bauer's Universal Rarity Scale, and he put this out in the early 70s, right? And he started at 0, and that means that there are 0 that exist. URS 1, URS stands for Universal Rarity Scale. It means there's 1. URS 2, there are 2 that exist. URS 3 is 3 to 4, 5 to 8. Each step up on Bauer's scale is about double. 3 to 4, 5 to 8, 9 to 16, 17 to 32, 64, 125 is close enough, 250, 500. Each step up is double. Okay. Now, PCGS has their own rarity scale. They came out with a proprietary scale. And theirs starts, well, it's backwards. They start at 1. Right, which is over 1 million. They call that very common. So they also have a descriptive in here. Anything but from 1 million down to 200,000 is common. Right, then you get scarce from 10,000 and up, very scarce. And you'll see their scale climbs 6.4, 6.5, 6.9, 7. By the time you get to 7, you're at a couple of hundred. Right, at 8, you're at 100. At 9, you're at 25. And here you start getting into the ultra rare stuff. You know, a couple of dozen specimens. Now, a lot of the stuff in the Cherry Picker's Guide is going to be rare, right? Maybe 1,000. You got URS 3 in there. Where's the URS 3? 3 to 4 known specimens. Some of these older coins, you get back into, say, seated Liberty designs. You have very few surviving specimens. Honestly, you get some really rare stuff. Okay. I'll get you the link to this in just a bit, and you can investigate that to your heart's content.
And then compare it to the surviving mintage or even the mintage, and then start looking at playing the lottery, because your odds are probably better playing the lottery than finding some of these URS 1 to 3. But you know, 1 in 4 billion chance of finding.
You look that one up. I picked up 1911S. What's the other book? Give me the other book with an RPM. So I have a complete collection of 1911 RPMs, which is 2 of them. I meant to look that up and see how many of those are what. Barber suit quarters. Wait a minute.
Maybe one thing, you can take your collection to the next level and identify the URS for the coins that you have.
There you go.
You know, and Ken and I have been talking about, you know, what about interest factor? Because it's not always the rarest coins that provide a lot of interest. And interest is subjective, and interest changes over time based on the hype in the market. But
1910 S over the inverted S over inverted S really should be just a massive coin, right? Here it is, 1911 S. You've got a URS of 4. Now let me go look that one up. URS of 4 says 5 to 8 surviving specimens. Okay, I'm sure he'll be updating this on his next edition. 4, no, actually there's about 50 that I've seen on PCGS, which would bring it up to probably URS of 7. But right now it's listed in the current cherry pickers as URS 4. Well, there's stuff found out there.
Ken, I'm curious, the 1995D double die, what is the URS scale on that?
1995D. There's a lot of those.
95D.
Oh, D.
I don't know if there's that. I mean, I would say thousands if I were to guess.
They've got URS 5 listed in the Cherry Picker's Guide, but I'm going to say there's a whole lot more of them out there.
Yeah.
The 95P got all the attention. And the 95D, that's just kind of on the back burner of history. It's been ignored. And it's those coins that have been ignored that people aren't hunting for that have few known specimens.
Yeah. And that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up is there's hidden gems out there. You can, like I said, 1,500 varieties in one decade, and people aren't looking for them. And you can look at the rarity scale, or you could determine how many of those that might exist. Ken, how was it? 3,000 coins produced on a proof die,
something like that.
And so you get a nice proof double die, and you're talking about really pretty freaking rare.
Yeah.
And there's a couple million of those struck anyway. What's that?
That's a beautiful RPM right there.
Gorgeous, yeah.
I've got the number 2 as well around here. This one gets all the attention. Nobody knows about the 2. Yeah, there's 2 RPMs for 1911S. Cherry Picker's Guide only has 1 listed. And while it's a peach, nobody knows about the 2. Which one's going to be more valuable in the long run? Probably this one, because the Cherry Picker's Guide gets the attention. There is good stuff out there, man. Why not grab them up while they're inexpensive? This hobby is getting some attention. It's getting some momentum being built along here.
I got the guy at the post office. I'm turning him into a collector. I've been going in there week after week after week, sorry, to ship items out. And one day he finally asked me, "What are you selling?" And I told him, sorry.
I had a man call for 2 weeks.
I'm on week 3. I'm over it, but I just can't get fully over it. But anyway, so I told him I sell coins and currency, and then he started asking questions. Well, the next week I came in and he's like, "Oh, I got to show you what I found." He found a Buffalo nickel, and he found I think it was a $20 bill from 1934 or 35, and so that was pretty cool. So now I just went there today. Thursday's my shipping day, and I said, "What do you got to show me this week?" And he pulled it. He's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." Pulled it out. He had a 1950 $20 bill. I said, "You know what's great about that stuff?" I said, "If you can afford to keep that stuff."
He's got it.
The punchline. Oh no!
Don't stop there. He'll be back in a minute. Bear with him.
The suspense is killing me.
Sorry about that.
Stop playing Fortnite.
I'm losing it. So basically, I told him that's how you start your collection. That's how you build your collection. You can afford to keep stuff like that. You're finding it in your till. Good for him. So I got another collector going.
I had when I had the diner, the guy for Cisco, he'd come on in and find out what we needed for potatoes and hash browns and whatever. And he had bought a cup of coffee and got some change back, and he's looking at it real hard. Well, I'm never without a loop. I just reached over and said, "Here, try it with this." He says, "What's that?" I said, "It's a loop. One of these, just a $3 loop." I said, "Why don't you keep that?" And within a week, I'm explaining to him how to go to the bank and get, rolls and, inspect them, then take them to a different bank and dump them off. So you got a pickup bank here and a drop-off bank there. And I'm afraid I might have ruined him for the rest of his life. Yeah, the hobby, we're just getting started with this variety thing. Yeah, there's been a lot of work done, but there's a whole lot more to do, I can guarantee you. There's much more out there than just DDO, DDR, and RPM. Cuds, chips, cracks. Some of them should be recordable. If they're recording BIE errors, No, excuse me, BIE varieties. There's a whole lot more that should be recorded. The pooping horse, for example. Some of these are kind of popular.
Oh, we're even finding BIEs on the 99D.
95 has lots of them, and I think 4 or 5 have been recorded. And I got a stack of them back here somewhere I got to go through. There's so much more left to be discovered still.
That's right. Michael Kittle has a good point. Sometimes you got to take your rarity numbers with a grain of salt because they're best guesses. Now, there's some science to it. How many
market in the course of a year?
Yeah, how many? So if you have a die that exhibits a doubled die, do other dies exhibit it? Was it a hub that had the doubling on it? So do you have multiple dies? And how many coins could be produced by a single die before it just falls apart and can't be used, right? And that sometimes it happens after 10,000 coins. Sometimes it happens after hundreds of thousands of coins. You never know. So it's really deduction and study of the available varieties on the market, but that's still a guess because how many people are hoarding coins? How many fell on the ground and are disappeared?
Well, some of this rare stuff, you don't see it on the market very often. The 1911S RPM, you don't see those offered for sale very often. So you can come up with some idea if they're spending an average of 30 to 40 years in a collection, right? They're off market. Well, there's some rudimentary math that can be done, based on how many sales per year, right? If there's one, you figure, okay, maybe there's 30 to 40 in existence. If you don't see them but every few years, it's a pretty scarce thing. But right now, there's a lot of die varieties you can pick out just from these sales sites, eBay, Collector's Corner, USA Coin Book, these different places that have coins for sale, and you can cherry pick the sales sites and pick these things up for nothing. What's CJ get? He got another Snow 9 or Snow 7 for like chump change. It's $100 coin. Yeah. There is a market for this stuff, and it's only growing. Yeah, the Drake equation for coins. I got to take a note. Where's my note?
You coming up, Coin Dragon? Snow 5. Yeah, that's what he found.
Snow 5?
5, yeah. All right, let's see. I've got another email loaded up here from another one from D. Reese. So looks like a clash, perhaps. The shape is what's getting me, or is it just a deteriorated die, or something else altogether? Looking at the right of Lincoln in the memorial, also EPU looks like maybe doubling. All right, so here we go. Over here.
Coin Dragon has joined us finally.
Hello, everyone. Sorry about the tardiness.
Let's see. This was a 64. So that's a clash.
That's upside down for a clash.
Yep.
If that's going to be Lincoln's beard, it should be the other way.
Now, I did find more advanced states of this. Yesterday, I was looking through a roll of 64Ds, and I do have some other examples of this where all the detail in this Bay 8 and Bay 9 are just gone. And it's pretty cool. But you look up here under the M is where I saw it on mine, and also in a couple other areas. Now, I'm the E's kind of throwing me off.
Yeah, a shadow and reflection off of the tops and the bottoms of the center and the tops.
Yeah.
Got the dark lines. 1, 2. That's a top piece. 3, 4. But there's an extra piece. Looks like I paid a contact mark. And 5, 6 in the bottom.
Wow, that's odd looking.
Yeah.
But the circles are round. They're not jelly beans. Now look at the inside curl of the U. It's round and smooth and even. That's the way it should look. And then I look at the serifs on the end. This looks like a normal EPU to me. Yep, bay 3 got a clash line, but that should be the other way for bay 6 and 7, bay 7 and 8. Or Lincoln's turned his beard upside down.
I think CJ found a bizarre clash similar to that recently. Almost looks like a multi-event in a rotation too at the same time. It's just bizarre.
That could be.
Oh yeah, he had some interesting metal, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy different doubling types of doubling.
Oh, that. Yeah, that. I think it's a commemorative. Not the Ford Theater commemorative.
Yeah.
Thank you again for that, by the way, Jeff. Very
All right.
coin.
It's a class. Let me see what else I got loaded up here.
I meant to load something here.
I got one from Josh M.
Oh, I got Jason's. Okay, I haven't done his images yet.
I'll read this one since I finished chomping on my pretzels here.
Pretzels.
I can't get over there. I got 37 pictures are jumping out. There we go. Ready?
Yep. From Josh M, 1964D. I've done as much homework as possible for this nickel. Now I need the give me a final decision. I think it's going to say, now I need the panel to give me a final decision. Is this a double I? And is the extra mark on the forehead doubling? Shay? Thanks, guys. Really appreciate what you all do. And dude, you're killing me. There is a special place in hell for you.
You guys are getting nothing good for Christmas.
There you go.
All around.
Yeah, and all the time you contribute to us. Ay. Where's your mom at tonight?
I've been waiting for you to read it.
Where's your mom at tonight, man? You need it. She didn't beat you enough as a kid.
Yeah. All right.
Now I literally don't remember what I just read.
Something about the forehead. Well, we'll just look at it and see. That looks like a contact or a bit of MD there.
I did like what I was seeing on the reverse, though.
Oops.
We don't need that line there or that one.
Go away.
You making a Christmas tree, Shay? Yeah. See that? That's called karma.
Oh man,
What are you doing?
I can't make it go away.
I am Polygon Man.
Polygon, man.
And here and here and here. All right.
Oh, okay.
Wunderbar.
Well, those look like scratches to me.
Yeah, it looks like a staple or something.
There's something weird going off of
Oh, we get a hold of this, Nickel.
10 o'clock there.
Can you scroll up to EPU? That looks like either wide or flattened out.
It's hard to tell anything from that.
It looks like it was buffeted.
Every nickel I ever find that looks old is a 64D too.
Yeah, there's lots of varieties for 64D because they made so darn many of them.
They're mostly RPMs, aren't they? Or they're
Absolutely.
A little bit of everything.
I know Dirt is taking him out of circulation. He likes to hold on to him.
You still doing that?
Yeah, I think so.
No, I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary here. All I see is a well-circulated 1964 D with some deep scratches on a reverse.
Yeah.
And that's either MD or some kind of a smack on the forehead there.
Yeah, look at the whole coin when you look at these things, and well, you start seeing damage and scratches.
Check the eye. If we can get a close-up of the eye.
Of the INN or
No,
Liberty?
the eyeball.
Oh, the eyeball.
Yeah.
It gets kind of pixelated.
Yeah, I can't really tell with that picture. I'm not seeing anything that's jumping out.
Yeah, resolution.
I'm bringing up the eyelid.
Inconclusive.
Yep. All right. Let me grab the next one. It's another one from Josh.
I can't offer anything on this.
Yep. Sorry, Josh. I don't think it's what you were hoping it to be. All right. Let me get this. Apparently, I left my text a little bit too wide, so it was really unintentional. I didn't.
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right.
This is what we ought to be looking at for his eyeball. Where are you there? That's what we should be seeing for an eyeball. Just plain more out. Frank, you got this one?
Sure. From Josh M. 1990p nickel. This nickel really has me stumped as to what to classify it as. I wouldn't think this would fall into the damage category, but then again, I've been wrong before and probably will be again. Thanks in advance. Ken, I'm really happy to have gotten invited to your Facebook group as well.
I'm glad to have you.
I'm sensing a little bit of a man crush here. I'm just saying.
Hey, man, I got it going on. Can you rotate that?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Image.
Company here.
There's a button on this.
There we go.
Beauty.
Over in front of the forehead, between the forehead and the ST and trust.
Which is extraordinarily bright.
That looks like I struck through a little bit of grease right there.
I was thinking the same thing there, Ken.
See, here we can see his eyelid on this one.
It's the bald head, he says. The reverse on
And
this.
then Monticello needs attention.
Oh, let's take a look at that reverse. Where is it? Did you give me a reverse? Outside of the no, he didn't. Okay.
Close-ups.
See, by 1990, Jefferson's hairline was really receding. I'm kind of starting to have the same problem.
That's
Man, don't worry about a thing. You don't have to comb it. You don't have to brush it.
that die is kaput. Here's deterioration all over that.
Now, you've got MD on states. You got struck through grease on the front. You got a whole lot of wear on some of these letters. Nickel's pretty hard. It's a lot harder than copper. Now, these are 30% nickel and 70% copper, but it's a much harder planchet. You get a lot of bounce on this one. See how these devices are made thinner. That's a classic sign of MD. But look at the bottom. Look at the bottoms of the T's. They blur out. They flow outward from the center of the coin, which is die deterioration. And the top parts are made thinner. Just that die is wore slap out. Now, if you start with the assumption of damage, you're probably going to be right most of the time. In this case, we've got, no, I don't see a whole lot of damage, but you got a lot of machine doubling, which is technically damage, and a lot of die wear.
All right.
That's
another one.
really chattered.
Oh, he has. Why does it show the extra window on the left of the building?
Now, what do we got here on the left side there, above that archway?
A mess.
Yeah, looks like a lamination.
You know, you might be right there too, Ken.
This coin has it all.
It's the trifecta. Lamination, MD, and die deterioration.
What you got here?
And-
Called train
And
wreck.
structurally agreed.
And structural grease.
All right. Let me see here. No, we didn't get to it yet. Hidden.
Die deterioration can get to a point. It can be called destruction of the die.
Diatrician.
Yeah, and you're just starting to get into that. Chris H says 1999 Lincoln Cent planchet flaw ? I found this 99-cent. I've never encountered a plating blister. Not like this. Is it what I have?
Feeder finger.
Yep.
Ooh,
One.
that is a
You have
great
two.
example.
Yeah, that's a sharp one. Yeah, that's a peach. You have
Cool.
something has abraded the die, excuse me, heavily and in the same location repeatedly to such an extent you have formed this linear gouge. And the most common thing that would do that would be the feeder fingers. It feeds the planchet into the striking chamber. And well, the things wear down over after billions of strikes. And it gets a little lopsided and leaves a little mark in your coin, and that's what that is. I would keep this. I would consider this a keeper.
Just for interest factor, yes.
You know what's funny? Out of the thousands and thousands of
Uh-oh.
Missed the punch.
Out of the thousands of what? Say it.
Cliffhangers.
What do I do?
you know, I really hate my computer and I want to punch it really hard. Out of the thousands of cents I've gone through, I've never found one of those. That's all I wanted to know.
Sometimes they're just light marks. It's just a bit on the coin where it's really, really shiny.
And they're typically up on the above the memorial too, closer to like 10 o'clock than the opposite side.
Oh, through the bays, through. I mean, I have the opposite problem, Chris, is that I found more feeder
All
fingers. Where I want to find the variety. Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to find all kinds of things. And, well, give it time, give it some practice, and you'll be able to identify more and more of these things. If you don't know what it is and can't figure it out, just set it aside, right? Mark it with what you think it is and get back to it in 6 months or a year, because it ain't going to go anywhere. It only costs you a penny or a nickel or a dime or a quarter.
Absolutely.
And as when you get back to it in 6 months or a year, you're going to know a whole lot more. And you say, oh, here's this one. That's a die gouge. That's so easy this time.
Chris, I'll let you take the next one. No trickery involved.
Okay. Hopefully my computer doesn't shut me down here. This was sent in by me, but it was from Michael John. And he is a seller in the Coin and Currency Sales Group. He wants to know if this is FS 501, which is a D over S. So I will stay out of this one for now. I already looked at it earlier.
49.
It's a little bit blurry.
It is a little blurry, but I think if you compare to the pictures on Variety Vista, you should be able to determine.
Yeah.
So Ken has the actual book, so that's a plus.
Yeah, I'll let him take a look, and I'm gonna, load the next coin.
Yeah, because Chris only has like one book on,
I'm gonna flush that one as an FS501. Let's see. I got the book here. If I could show the book, that'd be a real peach. Ta-da!
There we go.
FS501 is here. I should see a whole lot of S over on the left side. I should see a little blip at the top and a little hook on the bottom. And even on the close-up on that coin, I'm not seeing any extra metal over here in the left, which I think would be the key pickup point. But let's look at the placement of that mint mark in comparison to the example given. I think that your mint mark, MJ, looks a bit further to the left than the FS501. Let's see. If I draw a line from here straight up, I should impact the center of the D. Okay, here's about in the right spot.
It's close, but you know what, Ken? Everything else you touched on is correct. I looked at this one earlier. I peeked. The pictures on Variety Vista are slightly different. They are maybe a different dye state. But once again, you're right. The extra metal's not there on the left-hand side.
I mean, I'd want to see some on the inside, but we're not going to see it on this level of magnification. The key pickup points are the 3 bits here, here, and here, and there's also a split, so it's a D. A D over D over S, but it looks like to me.
Oh.
Unless that's part of the S looping over.
No, I'm with you, Ken. I mean, that's a split. It looks like a D, an RPM over an S.
It does. Yeah, there would be a lot more on the left side of that, I think.
Okay,
even more like that, you should be able to see more.
No, I can't. I would not call this the same as your coin.
Nope, and I agree with Ken, Michael. So, no. And actually, I was able to zoom in with the pictures that I had on my phone, and it actually looks like a little bit of damage on the top of his D, which is making the shape, the overall shape of the FS501 kind of similar, but not it.
No, the center on his coin is also flattened out, which I think may be just from being squished. I've got a much more rounded center on this D showing. Not it. I would not call it a D over S. I don't think yours is even a D over D.
Well, keep on looking.
Okay.
Nice catch, though.
Coin Junkie says, "Happy Thursday! Today I'll be sharing 4 quarters, which I believe to be doubled on the reverse, and would like to know if you agree. Coin number 1, Mount Rushmore.
Yes, sir.
Double die reverse, right there, 100%.
That's a good one. Yeah, they're not always that strong. Of course, it's got it magnified quite a bit, but yeah, that's a good one. That'd probably be pretty easy to identify too, even though there are many different ones.
This is typical for a class 9.
Yep, I was going to say, I'm guessing this is in the center of the coin.
Yep.
I think she's got one of those.
I do. Quite a few. Right, pretty much in the center.
This is what I would call one of the easier double dies to find. Anytime you get the South Dakota with Mount Rushmore, oh, look what he can do. Look for that extra little booger.
Got a nose job.
Yeah, you'll find several of these different sizes, maybe a little further up, a little further down, a little thicker.
Yeah, one thing to know is that this is on every one of them up here. So don't get confused by that. Nice. All right. Let's see.
I don't think I've even gotten a Rushmore and change yet.
Really?
Pretty sure I haven't.
Keep an eye out. You know how many quarters you need to have them all?
Oh, yeah.
And you have 50 states and 6 territories. P, D, S, right? The S proof. The S uncirculated is after 2011. Then you get the Saturns from 05 to 2010. What? There's piles of them. S, you got the 2017, you got the enhanced uncirculated. There's 5 more.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Hello.
Okay, but the pump handle, the doubling of the pump handle, those get more attention. People seem to like those a lot more. They jump right out. But you've also got the doubled windows.
Wow.
That's one of my faves right there. I own one of those. Nice
That's a strong one. Have we got a number for it? We can look that up. That'd probably be easy to pick up. I'm gonna pull up Wexler. I know he's got a good listing on those.
Did we skip somebody's email or something?
Sure, but I got one ready.
No, we've just got we've got tons of emails. I mean, these are ones that came in earlier today still.
Okay.
So we haven't gotten to the ones tonight. We're working on it.
Oh yeah. What's the date on that thing?
What is it? 2015, yeah.
What's the state?
Homestead?
Homestead.
Nebraska.
Nebraska. That'd be a whole lot easier. There it is. Okay. Well, no, he didn't. This is the right button.
Maybe I should just get out my variety book, and I'm pretty sure I have that one.
Okay, Wexler's been working on his site, and no longer does the reverse double dice show up.
Look at the window on the inside of the pump handle, too.
Okay.
Wow.
Let me give up.
I have 2 for that one. I have number 5 and number 97. Let me just throw them under the scope real quick here.
Whoop, I threw him out of the stream.
And Jason, I can get yours pulled up here in just a minute after we do Coin Junkies. He's got a couple more, and then I'll get back to yours.
I got somebody's already loaded up over here.
That's a mighty strong one.
I got Jason,
Okay.
and it looks like a nickel.
I got a screen share.
There it is.
Okay. This is actually a different one. This one's a little bit stronger, but this one's number 5. I do have number 97. So let's check out 97. Oh, I'm upside down. Sorry about that. And that one is just the window. So that's not it either.
Oh.
So put both of mine together and that's what you get. Sorry, I thought I had that one. I do not. Now I want that one. Oh, wait. One more thing I want to show Shay real quick.
I don't see anything in Variety Vista.
I was going to sell this to you, Shay, but after your antics tonight.
Oh. Yeah, I've been wanting that.
Ant, on your question about Wexler's site, why do they all say complete? That is just a note that he has in there kind of for himself to say that everything that he has been sent or he has seen or photographed or knows of is documented for that specific date and mint. That does not necessarily mean that there are no others out there. That just means that he has that.
Everything that was sent in is listed. I think it's more of a note to self kind of thing.
Wow, take a look at 55. That's a real close match on Variety Vista.
That sure is.
'69's kind of, but no. Your hook is too long. Looking at 55. Okay, we got the window, big. We got the partial hook above the handle. Looks like stage B, strongly spread northwest. There's a partial pump in window L3, and there's an extra window in window R3. And Frank pointed out some extra bit, it seemed, that inside the pump. And I got too much shadow on this bit. But I think that's a match. 55, number 55 on Variety Vista.
Looks good to me.
Cool.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, that's it. All right. Okay.
All right. Let's see. The next one he has is a Harper's Ferry.
We're looking at windows.
This is what I
I'm
think.
kind of partial to these.
Ooh.
Yeah, I like these too.
Several of these.
Ooh, that looks like a really good one.
Yeah, that's nice.
That one's got doubling in what, 2, 4, 6, maybe eight windows, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
You got the eagle's nest on that too?
No.
Nope. Okay.
No diddler either.
Yeah, that's the one too. I forgot.
Inside joke.
I got one like that towards the left of the, like on the left cornice of the building.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can find them. These are a lot of fun because you find die
They
chips
are.
everywhere. I found die chips and die breaks up in here and here, over along this left edge.
They
down
call it Eagle's Nest up on the roof.
Yeah, up here on they call these the eagle nest. Over here on the right side, you get some next to the gutter. I found some die chips inside this window up here in the other building behind it. Yeah, it's just a fun coin. But all your fancy double to die stuff is going to be in these windows here. I'm not aware of any other doubling. Maybe in the doorway too. There's one at the bottom or on the side. I can't remember.
The left of the doorway.
Again, this is the center of the coin, so this is where we would expect.
That's a class 9 tilted hub.
That's where the magic happens.
Now these two I'm showing here, I've had them laying on my desk for 2 weeks now. I found them in my change. This one's easy to see. I would consider this a minor one, but it doesn't match any that are listed so far.
Oh, there's still
This
more
one's
to
a little
be
bit
found.
harder. What's that?
There's still more to be found.
Oh yeah, I actually have 3 discoveries in this specific series. Number 4, number 5, and there's another one, maybe number 39, I forget. But here's 2 more. This one is up in here in this area, but it's hard to see. But unfortunately, Wexler's.
Mm-hmm.
We lost him.
Yep.
He's updating his site now, so we're getting stuff is changing. Oh, bear with us.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I think Wexler's lead time is about 10 months right now.
Make it an even year.
All right, and then we've got one more. Let me pull that one in, and it's going to be a block island.
Let's get the bird on it, right?
Yeah.
There's Trey.
Well, who's going to say it if Paul's not here to say it?
Nose picker.
Go to bed, Trey.
Go to bed, Trey.
Well, it's not where I expected it to be.
Where you see it?
Oh, look there.
Yep. Yep.
Well, looky there. Hello, extra feather.
I didn't see it in this other photograph. I guess
Oh, yeah,
The shadow.
Shadow. Killing it.
shaded.
that's much better.
It's funny though, isn't that real similar looking to that 2019 D doubled ear?
Yeah.
Very.
It's the same process.
Yep. Night, Ben.
Yeah. What's Konega calls that doubled ear tilted class 8.
Yeah, but that would apply if there was if it was the old-fashioned multiple hubbing. Now we get the single squeeze. It's a different process. It must then be a different class.
So, I mean, if he thinks that they're class 8, there would be lighter hubbing on other areas of the coin opposite of that, and then in class 8 usually along just one corner or one edge of the coin.
A lot of times.
You need your Play-Doh out.
That's rough.
It's buried right now.
Is it?
Say right where it is.
So yeah, it's right in the middle. Okay, does anybody else have a coin loaded, or
I've got one loaded, but I can never get to it. Jason's been chomping at the bit to see this.
Yeah,
one.
he is.
Okay, let me pull up. Oh, I think we can. You see this all right? Do I have to do something else?
You had it.
Yeah. Okay, go with it. Who's got it? Frank?
Sure. We have a letter from Jason, and it reads, December 5th at 8:28 p.m. No listed anywhere. Are these RPMs?
And Chuck's not here. He's busy doing his thing. I got the one where you don't have any 2017 Ps, DDOs listed on your website when others do. Chuck's got a lot going on, and he hasn't updated 2017 Ps yet. No matter. Let's get over and take a look. Are these RPMs? 1950. Okay, we got some good dates at least.
Nice clean coin.
Oh, I can rotate that.
Company rotate.
There you go. Great shape on those. Okay. That's going to help. What do you think?
Shows potential. I don't think the picture is good enough.
I'd like to see more clarity on this section up here. And also on the inside loop here. But what's this?
Discoloration.
Die wear? Okay, somebody want to look up the 50D RPMs?
I'm working on it right now.
Okay.
You beat me to it.
I'm going to look at the next one. Here's the next piece. What'd you have, a whole BU roll? Let's have a look at the reverse.
We have no RPMs listed for 50D.
Okay, how about this one? You want to call that one right now? That's an easy one.
Oh,
It's like MD.
boy.
This is a flat shelf. The D is made thinner. And I'd like to see some more machine doubling down here, but the resolution is lost. Chances are you have a similar flat shelf in the same direction as you have on that that mint mark, but have it right down here. Now, what I want to look at also is this bit right up here. What is this little tip? What is this thing?
And halfway down the vertical bar to the left, I see another little something
Here?
sticking out. Vertical bar left. It could just be the grain of the coin, though.
Yeah, we're real close in here, but I'd want to see more of what this is. So we got machine doubling over here. That's an easy call, but this is different. This kind of begs attention. Is it just a blemish in the light? Because there seems to be a light trail going off over here. And I've got other bright spots. That gets my attention. I'd want to look at that some more. I've got some streaks, some lines here. This is die wear. And we have one more. How you look on this? Good shape to get some stairs.
Really decent coin. I just fear you've been bit by the MD monster.
I think so. But this looks wider here, not thinner. But I don't have resolution here to work with.
Yeah, that upper serif, I'd like to really see a good shot of that. It could have both. I mean, strange things have happened.
Possible. Down at the bottom on the southeast, this looks to be MD for sure, though. See how thin it is through here?
Absolutely.
The left-right looks a lot thicker. So I'm going to leave that as a possible. For sure, it's MD in the lower right.
So he's saying that's actually the same as the first coin we looked at.
Is it?
So there's only 2 coins.
Okay, we got the same bit over here on the right on the bottom. See how thinner it is here? Here, the machine doubling's over here on the right. Bit of a blemish above it.
So looking like we got 2 that are showing machine doubling.
Yep, one of them has it on the lower right, more to the southeast. The other one is more to the due east. That's your due east. But I still wonder about this thingy up here.
Yeah, that is interesting.
But we're so close in on this one. And that may just be a light artifact. You get some other bright spots here.
You know what else I like on this one, Ken? On the right side of the D, inside, about halfway up, just a little above. Yeah, right there. That combined with that other thing at the top, that's interesting.
Here and here.
Yeah, right there. Yep.
There and right there. Let me pull up a book real quick here. That's the wrong book. There's about 30 books around here. I've always got 2 or 3 of them out. They're stacked up. Piled them up on the printer so high it knocked the whole thing over and broke the printer.
I got my dance goes on my printer.
Okay.
And how come the book is that you need is always at the bottom of the stack?
It's always on the bottom,
Always.
like a sock stuck to it.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't have anything there. This wants further attention. This wants more pictures, better clarity. Change the light. There's the first one, which is to the right, to the lower right. And here's another shot of that first one. And again, to the lower right. It does not look as wide. That's a slope here and a slope over there. This might actually be die wear inside on the right side of the vertical, because we got evidence of that over here on the other side. Is this in a flip by chance?
Oh, yeah. I can see the hairs from the cardboard poking out.
Yeah. Okay. You'll always find, yeah, there it is. It's inside the flip. You can always take better photos of a coin without a layer of plastic in between the camera and the coin. But it's not a bad looking piece. Yeah, you get $10 for that anyway. You got several steps.
50D. That's the low mintage one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the key to the series.
Now let's imagine we got the key date with an unknown possible. I'm saying possible here. RPM or OMM. Wouldn't that be pretty cool?
That'd be great. I'd call it right now an anomaly. But I've got plastic in the way. I'm making it a little tough. A sock stuck to it. That's right. It's a bookmark. Okay, Shay's got one here from Captain Jigga. Number one, go hunting.
And
he's gone.
Okay,
I'm here.
Number one.
Ken was going to read it.
Well, you said
okay.
I'll read it, so I stopped.
Can you hear me? Am I here? Am I really here?
Hey, and we can flip back and forth, so we don't have to make it a memory exercise if you wish.
You read the odd lines, I'll read the even lines.
Okay.
Okay, what you got here?
Oh, good Lord.
Ooh, that is nice.
No, not damage.
That's a nice one right there.
What in the heck was on that?
I literally was going to say that. What the heck was that?
If this was damage, I'd expect to see it going to the rim, going through and across the rim.
Furrows.
Yeah.
And I'd want to see furrows. Can you zoom in some? That's clean. Those are clean edges. That's a stuck through.
You got the C.
The other side.
Wow.
There is no other side.
Now, if something impacted the coin and made some damage, we would expect on the opposite side of the coin, whatever received the blow. There should be some damage on the other side too. But I don't see any pushed up metal. The edges are flush. They're nice and clean and crisp. This is struck through.
Let's not click off of this picture quite yet, because this one's interesting. And here's another good way to tell how this one is not damaged. If you look up at the columns on this coin and the posts on the steps, you can tell that this is a copper-plated zinc coin. Okay, so if that were damaged, you would see zinc. Undoubtedly, you would see zinc in there.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real good point.
That deep? Absolutely.
Yep.
So you have the plating pressed into.
Yeah, so that one right there is the biggest tell for me to say this is without a doubt a struck through.
Beauty too.
But if you do send us coins like this with what you think might be a struck through, try to send us the opposite side also. That it's always a good to confirm that way. All right, so let's see. Second question.
That's a nice one. I really like that one. Coin number 2. I call it the censored buffalo.
That is hysterical.
You know what? They were trying to milk the male.
That's a bucket.
It's a milk bucket.
Why you kick me, honey?
Somebody got kicked.
This milk tastes weird.
Well, it looks like a 1913.
This milk tastes weird. Oh my God.
Ew.
Moo.
I really have to work on my filter.
Wow.
Is that a 1913 type 1?
Oh my God. That was too good. That was just too good.
And you have a pretty sizable die break in there.
Really, that's like that one that CJ found on the head of Lincoln. That's huge.
Yep.
What's weird about that is it's almost square. It's kind of weird. That's a really cool one.
Well, sometimes you have things that'll strike the die.
Beautiful keepers.
Pretty substantial.
Beautiful keepers.
Okay, nickel.
Oh,
Nickel is an alloy, so you get laminations on the nickels. I mean, all the way back to 1866 to get them.
That's ginormous too.
Yeah,
You're finding some good stuff there, bud.
that looks like a nice uncirculated nickel too.
It does.
A couple of stairs in there.
what's this big piece here?
That's an unpeeled lamination.
Yeah.
That's about the
Retained, baby.
Yeah.
So this one
That's
fell
a
off.
clean lamination, then a peeled lamination.
Nice.
You see how you've got layers, right? The coin was struck through these layers because the metal wasn't fully adhered. So your design kind of stayed behind, although a little bit blurred up.
like a ghost of an image.
It looks like you have a little bit of a fissure going on there at the bottom right of the Monticello there. All the way out through the rim as well.
Yeah. Well, lamination is a flaw with a planchet. It's a flaw with the metal, so it's not limited to the die strike. It goes across the whole darn coin.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that's a peach.
When elements collide.
And number 4, WTF.
What the Frank?
Another struck through.
Wow.
And you know what I would call this one? This one is struck through a lamination that came off of another coin. That would be my best guess.
Well, so
Scrap
before
of something.
you don't have the tin in it. You don't have as many. But yeah, it's a chip of something hard.
The fresh copper underneath.
Struck through scrap.
It's got football.
Little puffy clouds.
Those are some
Real
really
close.
nice
It kind of
finds.
looks like a hedgehog.
What's the kid in that cartoon? His head is shaped like a football.
A lemming.
Doug? Was that
Oh.
Doug?
That looks like a struck through Doug.
There you go. Give him an eye. Yep. There you go.
See, I'm telling you that looks like a groundhog or something.
Okay, and it looks like a small date, by the way.
Yes. It's got that weird thickness to it.
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sorry. I had to. All right.
At least I'm not the only one that had that paranoia going on there.
Oh,
Stewie.
Pareidolia. No, there were some cool coins there. Thanks for sharing.
no doubt. Really nice finds. Yeah, football to the face.
No, he laughed. Well, he'll watch it later. I'm having trouble determining which GDR this is. There's a partial column to the left of the 7th column. The coin has some wear and is making ID very hard. I cannot see any of the die markers listed for possible choices. What can you do to figure out exactly which one it is?
There you go.
Well, one thing you could do is send it to us, and we'll figure it out for you. That was a joke.
It may take a while. There's more than one of these.
Oh,
What was the year again?
I'm bowing out.
4.
Okay.
2004s are like 1960 Ds.
You got like 90 known.
Well, hold on a minute. What is that? Is that a
That's a
DDO and DDR?
No, it's at least a DDR. We got that part
I
figured
think
out.
it's just the picture stretched a little bit.
Yeah, maybe. That date looks a little funny. I'd like to see a better picture of the date.
See how the coin's out of round?
Yep.
It's the picture.
Yeah, you're right there, Frank.
That is
Unfortunately, somebody was testing out a new brown for the wall on the back,
There it is.
but there's your double die reverse class 9.
You know, the only way to figure out which one it is to take your time, go through the list of, 145 of them or 210 of them or how many ever are listed.
68 on Variety Vista.
Yep.
Well, there's a hell of a lot more on doubledie.com. I know that.
That's a fairly substantial one, though, too. So it shouldn't be as hard to nail down.
Nope, you're going to be able to eliminate a bunch of them right off the bat.
It's the right side.
I actually like finding these with the doubling on the left column because they're so much easier to attribute. There's not.
Wexler has 100. He's made it to 100. Last I looked, it was 90, 94.
I'm pretty sure there's another page of them, isn't there?
I'm so looking forward to.
Two.
Yep, there is.
And the 2001s are the ones that have the most, right?
No, 4, 5, and 6 have piles. Oh my God, he's up to what number? He's got 116 listed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a substantial one.
I want everybody to concentrate on that a minute, though. Think about that. 116 different dies that were doubled. So we know not all of the dies get doubled. So that just kind of gives you an idea of how many working dies are actually used in the process of making these coins. It's kind of unfathomable sometimes.
2004, there were, let's see, 3.379 billion produced. So if I take that number and divide by 400,000, which would be a lot per die, that says there would be 8,500 dies.
Wow.
And you get 116 so far.
And now we know why it doesn't make financial sense to mint pennies.
Yeah.
But I hope they never stop.
Aye, you and me both.
Yeah. But it's crazy.
One die in 73 would give you 116 different. So, geez, they're pretty accurate to less than 1%.
Very cool. Let's go on to the next one.
I kind of like those ones myself.
I do too. I like class 9s. They're great starter too.
It's from Hidden. Hidden says, "Hello, Professor PV, fellow collectors and students. I received this 1878 Carson City trade dollar very recently. I call the obverse an extremely fine, but not the reverse. What would you say to reverse grades? This coin is the key by far for the business strikes, United States trade dollars. Thank you for your time." There's your front.
Hidden.
Ain't that handsome?
Hubba hubba.
That's AG at best.
Good Lord.
Oh, he's got a high res. Nice.
All right. Let's see it. EPU is complete, but showing some wear in the center. I'd like to get another look at the M.
Well, yeah, I imagine Hidden has nice equipment.
What's killing this coin is all the contact marks, though.
Yeah. That's been around.
Yeah.
Probably to China and back 100 times.
Okay. Yeah. The high points here are going to be the eagle's head, the wingtips. And that's kind of flat. That's been passed around a flat surface. They played poker with this one on a hard table. And the center there. Okay, the losing claws still have good fletching, though. What's going on inside that left claw?
Yeah.
Here and here.
Something there.
Yeah.
I want to see close-ups to that mint mark.
Yeah, this is yeah, those look good. I'm going to say that's Longacre doubling for that date. 420 grains of 900 fine. Every bit of a VF reverse.
What do we got down there on the D of dollar? Bottom. That would
damage.
Macaroni.
Okay.
You got anything going on?
In 78 is another spot. Sorry.
I'm going to pull up PCGS photo grade real quick because it's handy. Pull up the trade dollars.
If there's one series I know next to nothing about, it's this one.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
Only because they're expensive.
What is up with the brownish color around the entire outer edge of the coin?
Doo-doo. Probably was in a folder. Okay, a good match on fine 15, to tell you the truth. Okay, I'm going to take the screen. If I can find it. That's not it. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, here's a screen. Here's PCGS photo grade. And they've got, I mean, every coin under the sun in every grade ever seen, anytime, anywhere, right? And it's easy enough. Just pull up the coin and take a look. This one is their reference for VF20. And you can't go with the exact images because every coin is different, right? But look at the detail on the head here. I've got some feathers coming in at the wingtips. I've got, you know, this bit here, which is kind of flat. I've got most of the details coming down through. I've got some little sprays of feathers here. The claws, they're pretty much one claw here. Maybe I've got a couple over here, but look at the general condition of this. EPU, they're flattened out, kind of getting mushy, but I still have all the letters. And compare that to your coin. So I come back to F15. I've got a lot more wear here, and the little, oh, excuse me, the little, excuse me, the little frills are further in. We lost a whole feather in here, and the feathers don't go quite up. And up in EPU, I'm starting to lose the letters. Okay. So
That's interesting. The feathers seem intact even as it gets worn. It's like it's reversed from every other coin we have.
Oh, well, watch the rim. The rims are kind of high on these, so it really protects the detail. Right, but as you go further down, the wear creeps in. You lose another line of feathers. Right. But I'm going to give you a VF 20, maybe 25. I'm going to guess closer to 20. You got a VF reverse. And you got to grade the coin by the lower side, so you have a VF coin.
I concur.
There you go. By the time you get to higher end VF, you're starting to get some of the wisps on the outer edge here, and the feathers on the head are starting to get more complete, and you're starting to see some separation on that claw. XF, that's two more up here. There's XF. Look, you've got a full claw here. I've got wings all the way down, feathers all the way down. Look at this. It's almost combined. So I'm going to give you a VF reverse. There's 20. There's 25 compared to what he has.
Yep, the eagle's left leg is just starting to get worn there on the top.
Yeah. I'll give you a VF reverse.
Once again, though, we got a lot of contact marks in the field that I think are going to drop it down.
For VF, I think they're survivable.
That's the edge of another one.
They're not too distracting.
That one on the E is pretty, that gets to be a little bigger.
That one, yeah.
I could live with it.
I'm going to be honest here. I don't own any of these, so I'm still jealous.
Yeah. Still a beautiful, beautiful design.
I have one of these. I'd tough it out.
And that's just gorgeous to look at.
That design.
Yeah, the outburst is much better shape. And you always want the front to look good.
Am I the only one concerned about that discoloration around the rim and on the wear of the high points, such as right there on the one? And if you look at the portrait of Lady Liberty there, the high points, the arm, there's some weird discoloration there, which it could just be some toning, but I would definitely, if this were my coin, I would be weighing it, using every tool I had just to verify that it is in fact, because these are probably the most counterfeited coins there are.
I was going to say, I know exactly where you're going. Like some copper showing through.
Yeah, it's kind of really weird where the wear is. There is definitely discoloration. I didn't see any of that on any of PCGS's examples. I mean, look at that cheek. Look at the headband area, the deep areas. There's just some discoloration there that would concern me, but obviously there's many tests that you can do to check that it's real, and I'm sure you did those, but
yeah, I think that's just tone. Does look coppery though.
The details consistent with a struck coin.
Okay. Yeah, Hidden says he's convinced of it.
Yeah.
Okay with it?
Just to the new collectors out there, I would not rush to purchase this type of coin until after a number of years studying these, for the exact points that Chris is talking about, that they're highly replicatable and highly replicated Chinese market, and lots of fakes out there. So you've really got to know your stuff.
We lost Chris altogether this time.
It is not numismatics 101. It is 305.
Stay away from wish.com.
Yeah.
For buying coins.
All right. Let's go with the next one from Seamus.
Trade dollars. I'm showing 34,000 surviving specimens on all dates and mid marks.
Well, a ton of them got shipped over just straight off the bat, right to China, right?
Yeah, they were for trade. They kept them, chopped them up. Okay, Seamus Omaha 2007 P Lincoln Memorial sent plating issues. You commented on my 62D lamination tonight. I'm wondering if you'll have time to comment on this coin as well. What causes this? What's going on here?
Plating blister?
That's warbled all the hell.
A whole lot of bubbling.
Zinc rot.
Yeah.
I've never quite seen it that extensively in that direction, but
No.
Yeah.
You got a blister.
Yeah, if you touch on this with touch on it lightly with a toothpick, it's probably bubbled up some in some places. I've got a couple of examples like that I've been holding on to. Yeah, that one's probably a buffer.
Copper's starting to get ready to flake off.
Yeah. Yeah, especially right in here under the T and above the Y. And
have we got a die crack going on here?
Well,
I don't think so. That's not really
with everything else going on. Look at on his lapel there too. So he's got a cigar sticking out of his pocket there.
Yeah, that's a blister.
Right there.
Yeah.
Very bizarre.
Chris is back. Let me let him in. There he is.
Right row.
What do you think of this one? They roll out the copper, the zinc, right? And they punch out the zinc like they used to punch out the copper planchets. And then they take the thing and they put it in the bathtub. And you got 10 billion pennies all at once being electroplated all at the same time. And you got problems at every step of the way, right? Are the rollers smooth? Sometimes they get wore out. So the copper core is left with these striations because it wasn't really, the zinc core is left with these striations because the rollers are getting kind of wore out. And when you plate it, you get this coin showing up with, all these lines in it. It's got texture.
It drives me crazy sometimes. They're so wide, you can't make out details.
Yeah, and that can be part of what's going on here. But around the TY, that thing is something's rotting this coin out. Well, ultimately, it counts as an error, and it would be a planchet error. You know, if you get contaminants in there between the zinc and the copper, it's not going to adhere well, which is how you get the blisters.
That coin is doomed.
Yeah, this coin in 10 years is going to be, it's going to expand as the hydrozincate forms. Here's Silver Rookie.
Hey, Silver Rookie.
Jeff says he just finished the most miserable quarter box in his coin roll hunting history. I feel your pain, man.
Had a few of those.
You got 2 ATB DDRs and nothing else.
What's going on, Silver Rookie? Good to see you.
Do you hate when they give you a brand new box of coins? You know, it's like a whole box of 2017s.
Hey, I love that. I see opportunity.
Seriously, when you get a brand new box of all VU rolls, you know, current year, it's a chance to find new varieties. They're out there. Sometimes you can find
them. You have to have a really boring life to be able to sit through 2,500 of the same thing.
Yeah.
Hey,
I can't do it.
Right here.
I will take that. I will take that boring life and raise you one right now, man.
I just can't do it. I can't do it, man.
These new ones kill me. Just the brightness of the plated copper.
Carbone.
Boom.
Clear.
Cool. I like it. I dig it.
2019D. Can't get any newer than that.
Yep.
Right.
Look at that.
And a double ear.
Is that the same as the one that was already discovered, or is
that's DDO01 that Wiles has on the Variety Vista.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice one.
And Seema says thanks. You're welcome, baby.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I know I've been showing that off for a couple of maybe a week and a half now.
I would too. Show it off, man. Show it off. Hey, Chuck would be proud of you. You finally stepped over into the dark side.
Yeah. Let's see. We have another one. Here we go from Adam.
Yes, levels of madness. I would absolutely go through a box of 72s.
Oh, yeah.
Surely.
Without a doubt.
Actually, you probably more likely get a bag, 5,000-pound bag of 1972s. You got his
give me a super stack of them things, man.
Yeah, he's gonna brag. You got pictures to brag with?
Yeah. Shoot. Yeah. Adam always sends me the pictures that crashes my application. So hold on a second. Let me restart.
Retro. Oh, that's the raw iPhone pictures, I think.
Yeah. They always get me, man.
Yeah, Robert, that's what I do. When I get a box that's all the same year, current year, I just sell the entire box. Usually on eBay, it's easier. And I believe it or not, I usually double my money, which is fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's an easy, quick sale. I go back to the bank and then I get 2 more boxes. So, yeah, why not?
All right. I'm sorry, Adam. I just can't show all your pictures are causing my thing to crash here. And I've got like I've got over 100 gigabytes of memory and it crashes. It's only on your pics. I don't understand it. But he's got some beautiful coins. I wish I could show them.
Okay, I got one from Ida.
It's the extension.
Let's see if I can get this to work. Let's see. I go here. Then I go here. Click on this. And what's Ida say? She says, this is made from a punch. It's certainly weird. She says, thanks. And Ida. Okay, what do you got? It's gone. Where'd it go? Wait a minute. I lost it. Okay, let me stand by. Technical difficulties. I had it. There.
Reacquiring image. Whoa.
There it is, right
Oh,
here. It's a
yeah.
1982 D, small date.
Look at
Probably
low.
zinc. And somebody hit this with a tool or piece or counter punch and punch that in. Why is there no zinc showing?
Well, that's a good question.
It's the big O.
I
That's
would
all I
definitely be. I would be weighing that one.
Ida, would you weigh that?
Please.
I like the look of it, but yeah,
Can you see it? Reverse?
that's a punch.
Yep, here you go. Right in the center of the memorial in the back, you got the impact site, right? It was counter stamped on the front. And of course, it had to be on something hard. So you have a flattened out memorial in the back.
Now,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be like mixed feelings?
Oh.
Finding the third 1982 D small date copper and someone destroyed it.
Smack in the middle of it. Yeah.
I think I'd be okay with it because you'd still get a premium.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Yeah, weigh that, Ida. You got a 1982 D. I don't see any zinc inside this counter punch, and that's pretty deep counter punch.
What do we
Unless
got
that's-
going on up top there by the I and N in God? Can we zoom in at all? Right at the top of the letters.
No, I can't zoom in.
Okay.
A little dye deterioration, I suspect. Is that a rim ridge?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, rim ridge. There, that points to zinc. I hate to break your bubble on that one. Okay,
Yep.
somebody got to it, and that was Cowboy O. Before that, he was Cowboy X.
That's the mark of the Lazy O Ranch.
Kind of wish there was an N on the other side. No.
There we go. That way, just to be safe.
Yes.
Yeah, I gave up weighing them for the most part, but that one just has a look to it that I would definitely have to weigh it.
I've gotten to the point with Lincolns now where I can tell the difference just by picking them up.
Yeah, I do the drop test like Chuck
Mm-hmm.
did, and you definitely can hear the difference. But one of those, that one there, just had a look to it. Every once in a while, I get a few that I have to weigh, and of course, they're not it.
I'm with you there, too. Just to be double sure.
Here's one from Liston. Lamination. DD.
Ooh,
I'm opening up Variety Mista, so I can't get to you just yet. I got 37 pictures popping up. There we go.
on this one, I'm going with Fugly.
Yeah.
Hit
That one's ruined.
stick.
That one's got all kind of damage going on there.
Whoa.
That's damage.
That raggedy edge will give it away.
Yeah, I'm going with damage. It been smushed.
Spend that one.
Yeah. Those edges.
Okay, I got one ready.
It's funny. It's funny, and I said this before. Every picture we get, we're like cherry picking these coins as if we're coin roll hunting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole idea.
I know
It's ingrained.
it's an addiction.
We have to have a little fun too.
I see Shay zooming in on that mint mark there.
Okay, what do we got next here? Screen. There it
We're
is.
kicking Ken's desk as we speak.
I'm trying real hard to get over here. Okay, from Variety Mista. We got a whole bunch of stuff to us. Today, 9 o'clock. This is like we're 2 hours behind already. Hi guys, thanks for your time. I have this 1970 S penny, I believe is a DDR and possibly a DDL. I'm not sure about that. My reasons for thickness are the bow tie looks to be doubled as well as parts of the motto, and date seems to be extra thick on the reverse. Oh, and on the reverse, I see extra thickness on basically everything and possibly some slight notching. Okay, DDR, DDO.
Yeah, L's next to the O on the keyboard.
Well, let's find it because we got like 100 pictures to look at here. Okay.
Cool. Well, I see some wood graining right off the bat.
Yep. There we go. Here's a bow tie over here. I think the bow tie looks fairly normal.
Well, I see where the bow tie is your head.
Is it? Well, let me move it.
The duck.
Okay. Number 2. See any extra thickness?
So far, it looks normal to me.
Mm-hmm.
Good and sharp. Not a whole lot of damage around there. Okay. Number 3, close in. This may be the bit of she's talking about with notching.
I will have to comment, although the pictures are upside down, they sure are crisp.
Yeah, that's fairly crisp. This little bulge on the bead, this is normal on wheat pennies.
Yeah.
Looks like some doo-doo here. Nose. It's really nice, whatever that is. Sometimes there is such a thing as too much magnification. What part of the body would that be?
No comment.
Bow tie.
Is it?
Yep. There you go.
At this level of, if there were separation lines, I've got pretty good clarity on this, even with the wood grain. I'm not seeing separation. What's in here? I've got a bit of a shadow in there. Can I? Nope, that doesn't work. Let's try this. Well, that's the one we're on.
Little better.
Where'd it go? Wait for it. Okay, I waited.
It's his medulla oblongata.
Okay, I'm going to have to kill these photos.
As we go through.
In order to move on. Okay, what do we got? A little thinner up here at the top. That's usually goes with some dye wear. See how it's kind of stretched here at the top just a bit. This looks like a little bit of damage here.
Was before.
I see no ski jump.
Yeah, no ski jump on the E. The centers here are crisp. Oh, there we go. Now we can see them. There's that thing. Here's a shot of the whole darn thing. That's a 17S, all right.
Decent shape.
Yeah, I give it a higher end VF. See the Z shape? At XF, I want to see more detail in the smile line. The photos are pretty decent. What do we got on that one? That's the same one we just looked at. Reverse. I look at the dots, the shape of the L, the bottom of the U. See if the letters on the sides are the same shape as the bottom. This looks pretty good. Then you look around, especially the tops of the letters. The stems look right. The lines look right. We're losing resolution here. That's a key point to look at.
I'm going to be honest here. I'm not seeing anything out of the ordinary.
I've got nice crisp letters here. little mark here. This mark below the end seems to meet the end, which could be kind of misidentified as a separation line. But these are crisp and sharp. Now, also look at the inside points. So that's another spot to look at.
Let's try this.
Crisp, sharp. This looks a little bit funny here.
There are some nice wood grains in there too.
Yeah.
Yep. I see what looks like almost like a notch on the top of the M there, but most likely damage.
If I've got a notch on the M, I should look for the same sort of thing on the top of the E, on the top right. Top right. On the A, I'm not seeing that. This looks a little fatter. Like it was squished.
Could also be, yeah.
The bottoms are straight.
I'm seeing good on us where.
There's more bow tie. Let's straighten that out. There's something going on at the 1. This is a sharp, crisp, clean bow tie.
Bless you, Kenzie.
And the date. Okay, on the 1, it looks like it took a hit.
Yeah.
Another hit over here in the 7. Mid mark is sharp. See how the top and the bottom of the 1, the first one are straight?
Yeah.
This might be doo-doo in here. I guess more inside the 7. This looks like a normal coin. I see no indication of anything out of the ordinary.
I second that emotion.
I third it, but I will say that's a very nice looking coin.
Oh, it's neat.
I see wood.
Yeah, not a thing wrong with it.
Cool.
That's one I would put in my album.
Oh, yeah. It's a keeper.
All right, we got a couple from Andrew O'Neill, Black Cloud Mining. He's got this Iowa. He sent it to me earlier this week, and I thought it was pretty cool. And he's also got a flyer. He'd never seen the missing windows before, and said he found several of these in a mint roll. Let me go in closer on this so you can see. So it does have the die chip in the front, but that's
look at the luster.
what he's talking about is this.
That's what hit me first.
Wow, that's like a 3D look.
For real. It's like the windows are open. And you're
It
looking
looks like one of those things that Frank makes on his
fractals.
yeah, fractal goodness.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what to make of it.
Interesting detail. First thing I think is grease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got all the lines are going in the same direction.
It does. It looks like the interior of the building, if you were to look at it as a perspective.
Yeah, that's actually kind of cool looking. Really,
I would definitely keep that. That is bizarre.
Yeah, isn't it? I'm not sure what to conclude on this just yet.
Well, there'll be a higher point on the die. If it's a low point on the coin, it'd be high up on the die.
That is really neat.
And be subject to more wear.
Looks like this one's starting to get a little flat.
Yeah, some kind of grease or gunk or something.
No,
That's
it
the
wouldn't.
only thing I can think of too.
On the die, that's a high point. It would not fill with grease.
But that's just it. Yeah.
So most likely what's going on is those little squares, which are raised on the die, have worn off.
That's what I would go with.
You know, think about the we talked about earlier, the 79D. You know, think about the inside of the mint mark, that little knob that sticks up. It always breaks off. It's just such a small piece of metal.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, this is some sort of die damage.
He's on 15 in a row.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's really cool looking. It looks 3D. I like it.
I would definitely.
Whether I there.
Of interest, but we're not sure.
On a high point of the die, what would rub the die? The feeder fingers would rub the die and leave, well, diagonal marks.
Linear. That crossed my mind too.
But normally it's up at around 10 o'clock. Yeah, I'd like to see different photos, different light, different angles. That's a neat one.
Oh, and next, and there was a flyer too. I mean, I did kind of want to talk about this because in the email he has thoughts with question mark, and so I would like to hear a more specific question when you guys send coins in, because I mean my immediate thought is, yep, it's a flyer.
What do you think? I think I'll move on.
Nice and brown.
What do you think about what?
And I don't mean that to be mean or anything, but you know, we could look over this coin for an hour and not know what to look for. So
Yeah.
But you know,
that diagonal line is damaged.
that is damage.
It's a weak strike, that's for sure.
You got some
Normal on these anyway. You got some impacts around the rim.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, it's just a little too blurry to determine if there's any sort of clashing or doubling. And I can't, you know, you want to.
Can't.
CJ was schooling us the other day about what to look for on these, but it's you know like inside the O, but I can't make that out. And the position of the A to the wing, and this one seems pretty close to the wing. And then over here in the I, and you got too much brightness and pixelation going on. So I don't, and that looks like damage above the head. There you go.
You know, this coin almost has the look of a dryer coin, one that wasn't in very long. It's just like the entire obverse of the coin has like in the reverse.
Like mush.
Mm-hmm.
It just has a mush look to it.
I was gonna say the same thing. Actually, that's good. I'm glad you said it. Hey, Chris,
Man, we're all on the same page, guys.
Yeah.
Well, mushy sometimes is an indicator of a cast copy, but I don't see enough value in this to bother casting.
No, I don't either, and it can be caused by circulation as well. But usually, I see it in a dryer coin, one that was actually inside the tub of the dryer, getting beat around a little bit. But I'm not saying that's what this is. It just has that look to it. But let's be honest, you can't go wrong with Flying Eagle cents. I mean, they're hot right now. The price on them is high.
Man, I got my first one, I think, for $2.
Yeah. Now it's hard to find them for under 20.
Yeah.
CJ just robbed me. He bought one off of me for 12. I'm wondering what he saw on that sucker that I didn't.
When CJ buys Flying Eagle cents from me, I get real nervous. I'm thinking,
Yep.
Yeah, I won't sell them to CJ. All right, let's see. We got another one from Numismatic Picker.
He's the snowman.
There he is. Came back at 64. Hoping for a proof leg. Let me know what you think. Has some nice reflective fields. Probably not enough for PL, but still not a terrible coin.
Came back at 64, eh?
Came back at 64.
What the?
Oh man.
Who the?
It's that seated quarter he had.
Holy Lord above.
You know what? That does have the frosty look on the devices as well. That's a nice looking coin right there.
That's a really strike for sure.
Yeah.
And that's the one you got from Bill Fever?
Oh, did he?
Is that the one?
Oh, good, Ida. Thank you.
I'll go away now. Hold on.
Oh, Trey, that's spectacular.
I mean, everything's frosty on that. I can't believe it didn't get the PL designation.
Do you have to check a box to get the PL designation? Is that an extra fee? And you got to check the box.
I'm not sure.
I thought that was just PCGS that was doing that too.
When life gives you lemons, you throw those lemons in the face of the guy who give them to you and demand the freaking oranges.
Yeah, grapefruit.
I wanted oranges, damn it. I want to talk to your boss. Yeah, you send him a harshly worded letter right away.
Sheldon.
Take pictures of their kids walking to school and say, how about you resubmit the coin? You know, how about you grade that one again for free?
Yeah, you wonder how many do that. I only know one.
You get a 65 out of that. I got a 64. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with a 64 and a 77.
That is a spectacular coin, Trey. That would be a highlight of anybody's collection right there.
Excited to have that.
Mm-hmm. That looks like the half dime I have from 53.
Oh, population reports on it right now.
I'm having to part with my half dime that that Paula bought 6 months ago, but no, she actually bought. I was going to send it off for grading. And I feel terrible because I just hadn't gotten around to doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But it's AU, a seated 1838, and it's gorgeous. It's a Valentine 8. And I love it. Yeah. But she's going to get it.
Shall I?
I've got Ida's here.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
I'll read. From Ida. Not sure if this is an RPM or double die.
Jesus. I'm looking over here in NGC and the history of what they're getting for 64s. Oh, wow. That would pay all my bills for a month. Closer to a month and a half. Wow.
Okay, that 82 that Ida had is 2.5, so it's a Zinken.
Zinken. Yeah, you can spend that now.
Hey, John.
That is ginormous, MD.
MD.
Yep.
Big fat MD.
Big MD.
Good example coin. Nice chip in the B there, too. That's them pegs that just break off, like Chris was saying. Just
when you see a die chip in the bottom of the B, pay close attention to the left side of the T and the Y. Okay.
For the 57
has a die chip in the lower B.
That's a marker for a double die, isn't it?
I'm not going to see it here.
But that is, yeah.
Yeah, throw that in the can, though. No premium.
All right, let's see. I got Variety Mista coming up.
Oh, wait a minute. Didn't I have that? Oh no, that was the 17 we looked at. Okay, I got
This is a 71 nickel. All right, save that, move that, transition that, and get rid of all the photos.
so much clicking to do on this show.
Yeah, there is. A
Clever screen name.
71 full steps.
survey says. Faster. All right, there we go.
You're good, dude.
No.
Beautiful coin. Oh boy, pixel.
What was the question?
Full steps.
Full steps.
I see one big solid step.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Ooh.
That's
gonna kill it right there. This right here.
Step right there. He's pointing negative.
Negative.
Really close.
Yeah. 2 points for horseshoes on that one.
Top step's really weak in many spots.
Just to the by the left second column to the left. Close. No cigar. Not good enough. It wants to be. It wishes it could be. It's hopeful.
Coin.
You can
What year
dream.
is this coin?
71.
Yeah.
71.
So
So
for 71 though.
this is a beautiful coin. It's a nice grade and it has decent looking steps. But guys, keep in mind the reason that these coins have a premium is because they're hard to find. Certain years are really hard to find with full steps, like really hard to find. As anybody that hunts nickels will tell you, that nickels are just plagued with deterioration and weak strikes and dyed chips and all kinds of stuff. So even finding a coin that looks this good is tough.
A lot of luster buster.
Real smooth.
Shay wants to spin that coin so bad.
I do.
OCDC.
You know me well, sir.
It's
What's up, Cajun?
rubbing off from Adriana.
Okay, I got one from Captain Jig already.
All right, go for it.
Let's see if I can make this happen. I got to click that one, then click this one, and go to, what button is this? That one. There's a screen. He sends currency. What do you think?
Oh yeah.
Yep, there's a master class on how to draw Rambo. He's got a new movie out, by the way.
That's cool.
The Art of Him.
Nothing is over.
Stop Ramboing our tenors.
Yeah. You know what? It's so funny because everybody was spocking the Canadian $5 bills. You ever see those?
Yeah, that was great.
Please stop sparking our fivers.
You know what? If I found that stuff, I would keep it. I think it's really cool.
God.
We talked about this before. The artistic side of stuff sometimes is really cool.
Okay, Brother Mister says, double ear or junk on 82? Is there a doubled ear on 82?
Nope. I'm going to say junk.
Let's have a look.
83, 88.
84, 97, 96, 19, 18.
2006, Frank.
Yep.
2019 D. Shay.
5.
Oh,
Oh.
you got here.
Look at the hairline.
Yep. I was just going to say the same thing. Look at the one.
MD.
Whoa.
That is what machine doubling looks like on Abe's ear. That's actually a really good example of that.
Oh yeah, that'll make anyone look twice right there.
MD is going to plague you for a long, long time until you get your head around it.
Ken, we're getting a request for the T-Rex, buddy.
Mr. T-Rex.
That's K-Rex. Ooh, look at Liberty.
Wow.
Yeah, it detracts from the design. It's MD. Subtracts, I should say.
You can't get any more flat and shelf-like than that, can you?
Look at that. That's cool, Shay.
Man, you're so tricky with that stuff.
And yep, same difference.
Mama said MD is the devil.
I like that. MD is the devil.
Look who's on TV, Mama. It's the devil.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Yeah.
Part of that movie is, and I gained so much respect for Henry Winkler when I saw this scene. When he's standing there on the phone with the cord cut off in high heels. Oh my God. That was the best part of that movie. I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. Oh, that was great.
The fans.
I could never look at the guy the same way again, but man, was that great.
No, that was awesome.
All right, have you got Ida's nickel?
Need your address, please. He has one from Variety Misto.
Wait, my computer's jamming up here.
You can do it. You can do it all night long.
Well, I'm sitting here talking to everybody, but yeah, there's Variety Mista. All right. What's up with the horns or spike corners coming off the reverse letters? Seems to be separation lines on the E and F on reverse. Let's take a look.
When I hear horns, I think one thing.
Yep.
That
Ooh.
is a nice one.
RPM.
Yep. Well, that is some form of deterioration.
Mm-hmm.
But that is a nice RPM.
What's the date?
60, I believe. D.
Try 60D number 5. I'm going to shut down 200 windows here real quick.
500 tabs.
See you hidden.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like what is inside the loop.
Yep, there it is.
Oh, there's the horns on the U there that tells me deterioration. On the top, see it?
You got a die chip on the top right corner of the memorial?
Look at those bulbous protrusions.
I don't have a pic of the memorial. Closest one to the memorial is going to be, let's see.
That might be the first time in about 10 years that I was able to use the word bulbous.
Bulbous.
Bulbous Maximus.
Okay, watch this. I've got a screenshot. Over here, I got 60D number 5.
Beautiful.
Bang on.
Look at that match, huh? Look at that mint mark location.
So we're looking for a chip over here on the memorial in the back, on the far right. Mint mark location is good. The little horns. Yep. Number 5. When I joined Konica, they sent me one of these.
Oh, sweet. What did I get? I don't remember.
Yeah, they send you stuff. That's your puppy, all right.
In the original 2x2 vinyl flip or whatever it is. Oh, yes, that's my RPMs. Crap. I got a 63D RPM 10.
I'm going to be jealous of yours. I don't have that one.
What's cool is, they give you this nice little, card with a nice blown up picture of the RPM.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give them credit for that. Right next to that one, I got to show this one off. Right next to that of Mr. Ken Potter. So this is an oldie, but a goodie. 85D RPM. And I don't have a picture of it, so you can't see it on my webcam. But these mid 80s RPMs are so hard. So hard.
I just got an 88 today.
I got the 87. Looks like rope. 85D number 1. Number 5.
I have a number 5, but that's not what this one is. This one says nicest RPM known on cubic zinc. Majority of them were struck on stained planchets. And let me see if I can get a quick picture of this one with my USB scope. Ooh, I'm going to have to share my screen for this one.
Rock on.
I kind of forgot I had this, to be honest with you.
Oh, there it is.
Nice, huh? Not too bad. I don't know. He doesn't have it listed on the card that's in it.
Wow. 7.
Let's see. Here's my number 5.
That's number 7.
This one's really small and minor, but that was number 5.
Splits on the bottom.
So you said this one's 7, Ken?
I got 7 over here in my window. Can you see this all right?
Barely. I'll stop sharing. Yeah. Nice.
Oh, there, we can see it here. There it is. There's number 7. And there's a bunch of others. And they're all real subtle.
They're so tough, though. So tough.
They're almost always rotten out.
Yep.
Well, the D, a lot of times you get this splitting of the copper plating. Here's an example. Here we have the zinc showing. Once you splinter that copper plating, this coin is doomed.
Plus, it doesn't help that they have photos of the variety on the one with the copper or with the zinc.
Yeah, the variety is actually on the inside here.
So it often causes problems with people trying to identify their coin. They go, "Wait, what?
What's this? No, this is flat here. There's no relief on this. That plating is as thin as gold foil or copper foil in this particular case.
Okay. A couple of microns thick. Yep.
I got one from Ida loaded up, I think. Yeah, here it is. All right, you go here. What do I got to do? I got to click on this screen. Go over. No, that didn't work. There it is. Then he pulled it up, and she says, Ida says, "Can you tell me if this is approved or just a nice coin? If it was approved, shouldn't it be an S mint mark? As always, thanks for your time." Where'd you go? Here you go. Look how frosty that is. See that square edge? See the deep mirrors here? Here's the back. How do you have a proof coin here? Now, they made the proofs at Philly up until 1964, so there's no mint mark on those. Starting in 1968, they made the proofs at San Francisco. There's an S on those, and it'll be in the front. So that's a 1963 proof that you have here. And it's pretty well frosty. And they're tough to get back then, but you got some spots that aren't frosty, so it's not quite a full cameo. But it's pretty decent. That's a keeper for sure. Proof.
Next one.
You got it. Now I got to find my way out. There it is.
I had a question from D. Reese.
What'd you say?
As I sit here going through some coins, what causes the flattening and widening of some of the words in the legend, but not others? That is not doubling.
How about a roller?
You know?
Oh, if they come out of rolls, the little machines that grab the batch of pennies, they squeezes them together, and sometimes it'll flatten out the letters. See if you get any scrape marks going across those bits where the letters are more flat. Also, how about this one? How about a weak strike? If you don't have the complete bit of pressure on the coin when it's being struck, sometimes the metal doesn't ooze into the void of the strike quite as far as it should. And it looks like they're a little wider than they should be. Take a look and see if the outside of the letters are a little bit higher than the center of the letter. And then be just a little bit weaker strike.
All right. Next one is Seamus.
Wasn't that the monkey in Planet of the Apes? No, that was like the Forbidden City.
All right. Seamus found a 94p by Lincoln Memorial.
Is that a genuine buy? That
Sure
is BIE. Yep, 100% legit.
Bigger.
That's a full cigar. Now, BIE is a die chip. That's all it is. And it's between the B and the E. Now, they got die chips in between all the sets of letters, and sometimes multiple letters. Sometimes you get a crack that'll go through several or all of the letters. So it could be an LII or an IIB. BIE is the most popular one. There it is.
Seaboss.
There's no I in team. No, we got one on the penny. That's a BIE, baby. You got a keeper.
All day long.
Yep. Let me see if I can load another one. We're getting to the end here.
I got Josh. If you want to go for,
I'll take Liston. How about we call it good there? Is that all right?
yeah.
Yeah, I'm going down, man.
That's all right. We've been at it for 3 hours.
I've been up since 4 a.m.
Ouch.
Looking man and all.
Yeah, I actually have to have a job, believe it or not.
Man, how you guys? I know how you do it.
I showed you guys earlier, but I didn't show anybody else. This is, I totally forgot. I bought this at a show I was at, and it was in the bottom of my bag. And Ken just happened to talk about it and bring it up, and I'm like, "Holy crap! This is still in my bag." This is
Knife money.
This is ancient Chinese knife money. I think I'm going to keep that.
Oh, absolutely.
You may as well. You brought it all the way home.
Josh M says, just saw the double ear Mantic show. Does this a doubled ear.
Right.
What's the date?
2014.
I see that a lot.
For some reason, you get so many of these that take a hit, take a contact mark right on the lower earlobe. Well, it is a higher point on the coin.
See how the line follows up too, right along with it.
Yeah, this looks like a contact mark to me more than anything else.
That's the highest point on the coin itself. It's going to see the most smacks and dings and whatnot.
Once again, if you're thinking about it just like the MD, the actual size of the ear hasn't changed.
Remember, if you're doubling, it's the hub that is doubling the die. So you get two impressions in the die. So if it's raised on the coin, it's been sunk in on the die. And if you sink it in twice, well, it's going to be wider on the coin.
Is that Y looking extra thick to you?
That Y wants attention, I think.
It does.
Look at the bottom of those letters on the lower right side.
Yeah. When he zoomed in on the date, I kind of did that O looks a little pointy.
Can you give us a clearer shot of the date and the RTY and Liberty? Yeah.
You got it right there, buddy.
So good news and bad news.
It's not the doubled ear.
But I did save 15% of my car insurance.
That direction, I don't have a match for that direction on Variety Vista.
Could be the lighting. We get a lot of glare, a lot of hot spots.
Let's see. Did we answer Seamus on why this location is so frequent for the die chips? Did I just miss that?
We didn't answer it, but if you think about how the coin is, the items on the coin that are raised are sunken into the die. So the flat field of the coin is actually raised on the die. If you think about how small the area is in between the B and the E, it's susceptible to a lot of pressure from the strike and also susceptible to damage because of just the small space it is.
Mm-hmm. And the B itself, the design of the letter B has that V on the middle of it, which is going to cause flowing of the metal inside. And that's a stress point.
There you go.
That's like the Bay of Fundy example there, whatever that bay was.
Bay of Fundy?
The one with where the tides come in. The one you talked about before.
The reversing falls?
No. The bay in, I think it's Newfoundland. Where all the water gets funneled into one place.
Oh, yeah, the Bay of Fundy really shoots up. You get a hell of a tide up there.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah, so that's a high stress point.
And then it's going to break right there.
All right.
All right. Did we have one more?
Yeah, I got one from Liston. Let's see. I got to click stuff. Bear with me. There's that button. I got to come over here, hit this button on that one. There we go. And the question is this an RPM to the southeast?
Of the main mint mark.
Of the main mint mark. To the southeast.
I'm gonna say no.
No. What do you think if it's southeast here? What's that going to point to going this way? It's going to point to the center of the coin. This is consistent with die deterioration. Right here in that direction. Up here, it'd be a little closer to the east, but still at a slope. This is consistent with die wear. I can't see if I got any on the rest of these coins. I get too many hits in the way.
Oh.
Yeah, there's definitely lots of damage going on there too.
Yeah, there's a lot of. It's been spent a lot.
If I were searching and I came across this coin, I wouldn't. I see nothing that would make me take a second look at it.
No.
That would go in the wheat tube.
Well, keep the best one.
I'm going to show one more from Kin Pride Management. Let me. I know we said we were going to go, but let me.
Wait a minute.
Just because I
got to shut down 200 windows over here.
That's twice you did that tonight, Ken.
Man, they build up.
Control F4 is your friend.
Ah, one of these.
Yeah.
You got there. Now a die.
You guys remember that show, Miami Vice?
Okay, a die is going to create. Right, it's going to create letters that are raised on the coin. Because on the die, the letters are depressed. And they're backwards on the die, so when they strike a coin, they're going to be forward. Okay, so if you have letters on a coin that are sunk in, could he possibly be struck with a hub? Never going to happen. Never has a hub been used in place of a die. So if you have letters that are backwards, let's see. Somebody has taken a regular coin where the letters are forward and squeezed it into a regular coin, driven it right in. So now the coin, that coin is leaving its mark over here. So the letters are backwards and sunk in. It's a squeeze job. A vice did that. Or if not a vice, some kid, some rotten little rugrat took a couple of pennies and smashed them with a rock together. Please watch your kids.
Little ankle biters.
Those little ankle biters. Intemperate youth is what that is. Either sudden impact or high pressure. Call it a vice job.
Angry spouse coin.
Right. Yeah. But the die will always create letters that are raised and left or right, readable. Wow, look at that. We got through another night, by God.
Yeah, we did it. We did it.
Good stuff tonight.
Thank you guys so much for sending us all of those coins and good pictures and questions.
Some very cool stuff.
They're doing good.
Very good question.
Man, y'all keep hunting and keep on searching out there.
Great pictures.
We hope you learn from all of this.
Yeah.
We don't get the questions in this show, the coin Q&A. They don't send in, hey man, I got a 1972 penny. What's it worth? We don't get that. You guys you're paying attention and you're picking it up. Seriously, another 6 months or a year, you'll be able to answer a lot of the stuff on your own. Huh.
Yeah, then you can start helping other people so we don't have to. That was a joke.
No, really, we're getting a lot of people that are picking up a good experience, and they're going to keep on picking up that good experience. By all means, share it with others. But what's going to happen a year from now, when they don't have to ask us, is this a lamination? They're going to be coming up with some stuff that we don't know about. We better bone up. We got to study. You guys keep us on our toes.
Is this a C10 or a C15? Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, yeah. Valentine 8 or 6 and 1.
There you go.
Well, I think it's the Cohen 5 because it's got the A reversed.
See, these are the conversations that Ken and Chris and Coin Dragon and I have is why what
Why did this do this?
Yeah. So
We are true coin nerds. There's no doubt about it. I refuse to admit it, but I guess I am.
you're a big cool nerd.
I know.
Get these things called the emission diagrams, where you know which obverse design was used for a particular stuff for a particular day. This would be the 1804 half cent, right? You got on the second press, die number 2, die number 1. From the first press, die number 1A with a spiked chin would be this one. And which reverse was it used in combination with? All right, so if it's say 2B, that's going to be Cohen 4. This is the stuff that the real hardcore nerds get into. Yeah, please kill me.
Young numismatist has
How
a
deep
question.
is that rabbit hole? Hello, everyone. A question I have at Ken Peavy is how can a coin have an over mint mark that is not the same main location? Example, an S over D mint mark. Okay, they make the dies, right? They send the dies. They made them all in the same place. They made them in Philadelphia, shipped them to San Francisco. San Francisco gets them, thump, whacked in their ass. Denver calls up. Now, they had whacked in all their Ds into theirs, and they made too darn many pennies, and they ran out of dies because they all got wore out. So they called San Francisco because San Francisco had a better run. They got extras. They say, hey, man, can I borrow a cup of dies? Sure. The guy runs over. He's got a whole cup full of them, dumps them in. And, well, now Denver has these dies that have the S mint mark. What do? Well, you got to stamp your own die into it. And so the guy gets out, gets his D, and whacks it in. But maybe he missed a little bit. Usually they're pretty close. Over mint marks are neat. There's one around the desk here somewhere. It's a little bit shifted. A D doesn't always cover an S because, well, first off, it's a different shape. The size is mostly close. There's some neat ones where you have different mint marks over different mint marks. Then you get to figure out, okay, which S was it? Was it the trumpet tail S? Was it the sans serif S? That's kind of neat.
Then you start wondering why only Wexler and Potter recognize the OMN varieties and not Koneka.
Huh. Yeah. All kinds of things. But that's how they come about, was they had surplus dies at one mint and sent them to the other. So you get S over D, you got D over S. Could there be S over P? Maybe. But you never know because there's no P. They just stamped an S in.
Those vans with the CC over O or O over CC.
They got those. Yep.
Via Pony Express.
So
There's I like the isn't there a large O over a micro O?
Yeah, there's that.
Those are pretty cool.
And sometimes they're off by a bit. Once you already have a mint mark in there, repunching it, it's made easier because you have a target. Okay. Well, look, I'm gonna get some dinner going. Make a sandwich probably.
nice.
Do my thing. Get some work.
Yeah. Thank you, Ken, for having us and hosting.
Yes, Ken.
Shay's channel next week.
Okay. All right. I guess so.
Tag, you're it. I'm comfortable enough with Streamlabs now that I could probably host a few too if you need.
Oh, good.
All right.
Good. And y'all get your clicky fingers ready so you can load pictures.
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. Okay, let's do Shay this week and make sure we get some practice in with Coin Dragon.
Absolutely.
All right, we'll put you in the cycle.
Yeah, see you guys around the tube.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up.
Hey, everybody. Thanks a
Fried
lot.
pork rinds. Oh, fried pork chops.
Huh. There's Hoover's. Where was she all night?
Guns.
All right, good night, guys.
See ya.